This episode brought to you by the DCEU. Sorry.
Hey everybody, we're beginning our MCU marathon with
Here
Iron
we
Man,
go.
and you're listening to Miscast Commentary.
Gauntlet time.
Welcome to Miscast Commentary's Movie Marathon.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
With two guys actually crazy enough to get this done.
And I have a bow and arrow.
Now here are your hosts,
Language!
Joe Findlay and Todd Murray.
How we doing, nerds, and welcome to Miscast Commentary. I'm Joe Findlay.
I'm Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
And we promised it, and we're going to deliver it, whether it kills us or not. We begin our marathon of the MCU. No coming attractions episodes for the next few months while we burn through these things. You're going to get 4 movies a month out of us.
You're on burn notice, baby.
We're going to get through. Go on our Facebook page for the order and all that, because we're going to do this in order of release, I believe. I don't know. I've got it written down somewhere.
We're going in chronological movie order.
Yeah, but there's the order of this is the order you should watch them in because Guardians of the Galaxy happens at this point.
Oh, no.
We're not doing that nonsense.
No.
We're going to watch it the way you would have experienced it when you go into the theaters.
Yeah.
And that's how
And you would have experienced it with two assholes talking through the whole thing.
Yes.
The only person who can see the true scope of this is Galactus. He can see the end.
Yes.
That's it.
So think about that, you fucking nerds.
Nerds!
All right, guys. There's only one thing to do because it's late. It is time to press play
now. Okay, the stars are falling. This is where we are.
This is actually kind of weird to see. I
Stars are
haven't
coming
watched
in.
this one in a while.
Is
and
this
it's
the
a
newest
Paramount
movie we've ever seen?
I believe
we're
it
stepping
is.
out of our comfort zone of the 80s weirdo movies. I don't think there's any boobs in this at all.
Yeah, this is 2008.
Holy fuck.
And I think the newest we did was
This is the
Two
year they
Towers.
outlawed boobs.
Yeah, the newest we had done was Two Towers, which is 2002, 2001.
They were going to show Pepper Potts' tits, but then she ain't got none.
Yeah, she just has a giant fucking jade egg up her pussy.
Exactly.
So
here we go.
So yeah,
Desert.
but as I was saying, it's weird to say because you didn't have that big Marvel opening or anything like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
It was Paramount. I'm sorry, I'm choking. It was
With
Paramount.
excitement.
But yeah, this was they had a big deal going on, and they signed a deal with Paramount to do all these things. But then Disney bought Marvel in the middle of that deal, and they had to kind of rewrite the deal. And so some of those movies, like Avengers and stuff, ended up falling under the Disney Marvel Studios as opposed to Marvel. But this is the first movie that Marvel produced with their own money.
This is it.
This
is the one that started it all. So if this movie was not a success, the Marvel Universe never would have probably happened. Like, if this was a bomb, they'd have been like, well, you're not making another movie.
Or at the very least, they wouldn't have tried to put them all together. They probably would have waited 3 or 4 years and maybe tried a Captain America one out, and maybe waited a few more years and put out like a Thor movie. But there would have been no connection to this. Who could have been a better hire for this job than Robert Downey Jr.?
He's so good, eh?
He's so talented.
This is why he got like $50 million per movie.
He's worth every penny.
Yep.
And his contribution, whether or not you liked Iron Man 2 or 3 notwithstanding, his contribution to putting this together, being a big name and being willing, because he goes out and sells the shit out of this. He shows up on all the shows.
Yeah.
He
Gave her.
He's never once been too big for any of this. He's willing to be in the little shitty scenes and the after credit scenes for other people's movies.
Yep.
And
I wonder why they chose him. Mm-hmm. Why, what did they offer for him to say yes? What did he see in this? He must have seen it.
Well, he must have seen. Well, he was not the first choice. I've got some names and stuff here. Clive Owen and Sam Rockwell were both up for the role. Timothy Olyphant read for the role.
Oh, shit.
Boom. Yeah, this is huge, right off the bat. It's the good action.
I'm sure they do, the Afghanistan thing, too, right? With the whole, Oh, yeah.
Well, I like they keep everything in this kind of vague. You're like, well, it's Middle East-ish, but we're not saying exactly what, and we're not saying exactly who. But yeah, anyways, so Robert Downey Jr., the main reason he was cast was because of his troubled past and stuff like that. And that really resonates with who Tony Stark is as a character. But he is like, that's one thing that nobody ever questioned about Robert Downey Jr. He was always a good actor.
Yes.
Even when he was at his most blitzed, he was always good.
Yeah,
he was good
he was
in fucking
awesome.
Back to School. Like he was.
Yeah, he was always good. That's for damn sure.
But he crushes in all of these movies, no matter what. Like,
Look at how young he's looking here, eh?
He does.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I have not seen this movie in years. I think I only watched this like one time, maybe.
Oh, I've seen this maybe like 5 or 6 times, but it's probably been over 5 years since I've seen the movie.
That's been a while.
But like this.
Oh fuck, he's all fucked up. Oh no, he's got the vest on.
Yeah, but still, like he would have been dead, but this
It's a
is
Stark approved vest.
Yeah, it is a Stark vest, baby.
So why did they go with Iron Man? Why Iron Man is the first one?
That was actually a really interesting thing too, because they were having a hard time finding a writer for this. They went through like 30 different people to try and find a writer because nobody was interested in writing one of the more vague Marvel characters.
Right.
Like he's not the
Well,
X-Men.
he's not really that vague. He's got a lot of comics under his name.
No,
like,
but when you list out your Marvel guys, like say none of the Marvel movies existed, who are you going to talk about first? Iron Man's low on the list.
it'd probably be Hulk.
Hulk, X-Men,
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like your Captain America's, Thor's, Iron Man's, who they used to start this.
Right.
Are the like they got different Howard Starks all the way through this too.
Oh,
but
yeah.
we'll let that
There's
slide.
buddies in this one.
Yeah, Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels?
No, Bridges.
No, Bridges. There. I was like, wait.
I
I was like, wait.
I did that thing that pisses people off. But
Good.
yeah, so yeah, he's not the Howard Stark who's in the rest. There's actually several Howard Starks
Look at
because
him, I got that old picture.
because John Slattery plays him in Iron Man 2 and 3.
Is he the bad guy in this one? Or the next one?
This one.
Oh, it's this
He
one.
was
Yeah,
actually
okay.
supposed to be the bad guy in the next one. It was originally going to be the Mandarin, but they didn't want to. They couldn't really find a good way to bring in fantastical elements so early.
Right.
Like they wanted that to be something like this needs to happen later when.
like slowly introduce us to the idea of this kind of thing rather than,
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna give you a real.
Why do you
human
think that would have
threat.
been too much or something for the audience? Like,
I think they wanted to ground people before they like launched people out. They wanted people on board.
there he is.
Terrence Howard.
Too good for the next one.
No, that's not what happened.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
it was a money thing no matter what way you slice it that made him not do it. So I imagine he demanded a shit ton of money. But now he goes off on crazy like you know those like wrestling shoot videos that people do and stuff? He's doing those on like friggin' Robert Downey Jr. He's like, I'm the reason he has the job.
Nice.
And I'm the reason Robert Downey Jr. has the job, and they're throwing all the money at him and not me. They took money away from me to give to him, and blah blah blah.
That's
He's
sweet.
the fucking star.
Yeah.
You know who didn't have a problem with this? Don Cheadle.
Yep.
And you know what? He's doing just fine.
Oh yeah, they got all ripped off in the first Avengers. Everybody's made like $500,000 while Stark was making like 50 mil.
Well, that was the thing. It was like,
but he helped them renegotiate.
yeah, he helped them renegotiate, and on top of that, friggin' Robert Downey Jr. had 2 movies in before Avengers. So like he had already made Marvel a shit ton of money, whereas like a virtually unknown Chris Hemsworth had Thor, which did fine, but it didn't do what Iron Man did. Same with what's his face, Chris Evans with.
Did
with
Favreau
the
direct
first
this
Avenger.
one?
He did direct this
He
one,
did.
yes. And
Good
gave
for
himself
you,
the
Jon
small role.
Favreau.
Jon Favreau, director of like when they said he was doing this, I was kind of weirded out because like he did Elf and Zathura, Cowboys and Aliens Come Later. He did the Jungle Book. He's doing the Lion King, but like he really only had like Zathura was the only and Maid were the only things
Yeah,
under his belt.
no, the other one before it.
Which?
Swingers.
He didn't direct that. He was just in it.
Oh, it was just him and Vince Vaughn were in it.
Yeah. So yeah, because I looked that up because I thought he did that too.
It's kind
Right?
of strange who they picked to direct.
Yeah.
Especially when you see like Takiki Wakiki and like,
Yeah.
you know, and you're like, how did they pick these people?
It's
like,
it's just the voices, and it's like I think they see these people and they're like, here's a guy with like a visual voice, like here's something
Right.
like I can
Like, he
see
could-
on screen.
they have good feelers. Whoever
Yep.
they have for their casting,
They're
for the
headhunters.
directors and whatever. Oh, hey,
She's in all Leslie Bibb. She's in the second one as well, and she's hot as
what else is she
hell.
in? She's in lots of stuff.
Yeah.
Looks like she got her cheeks done up before this one happened. Ooh, girl.
He looks so good. It's actually quite crazy to see how different he looks pre-good Tony Stark.
Right.
You know, like, because in the new ones, his hair is all kind of like crazed out a little bit.
He's made some decisions that he regrets.
Yeah.
He's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, just like Thanos.
It's true. So this was written by Mark Fergus and Hawk Otsby. They did Children of Men, Cowboys and Aliens, and The Expanse. And then Art Markham and Matt Holloway also had a hand in this. I don't know if they each turned in a draft or if like one pair did a draft and the other guys like updated it or whatever. But those guys did Punisher Warzone, and they did the Transformers 7 and 8 and the new Men in Black spinoff that features Chris Hemsworth.
And what's her name? The Valkyrie.
Oh, is she in that too?
Yeah, they're like the 2 stars.
Oh, are they falling in love?
What's her name?
Yeah, I don't know her name.
Oh, in real life?
I don't know. Yeah, in real life.
Or in movie life?
Movie life? Well,
Oh,
Valkyrie.
hell. Tony Stark? Oh, he's not with Pepper Potts yet.
She's not good at sex in this.
She's
She's
really
just like slamming her butt
I
down.
don't think she's, it's been a while.
Oh.
She looked like some kind of a squirrel going after a nut. Oh,
Yeah.
shit, girl.
But like, think about...
Get up and get out.
Yeah, pretty much. But
You have been impregnated with a rich baby. You will receive a check in 4 weeks.
Yes, and never speak of this again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or if you just like put your retina near this thing, you will have an instant
Did
abortion.
she, because she, like the place was all darked out, she didn't know where she was? She's like, what? Oh, in Malibu.
No,
I thought I was in Afghanistan.
No, but I think if you were asleep and then all of a sudden like
It was
robots started
gams.
talking to you, you would have
this place gets fucked up.
This house is gorgeous.
It's
I love it
CG.
so much.
It's not even there.
The inside exists. Not here.
Look at the water wall. It also doubles as a bidet.
Can I tell you something? I always love a good water feature. That would be an amazing bidet. You just spread your sheets
Exactly.
and just like back your ass.
You can
up
scoot.
into it. Oh my god, she's biting her thumb like a sexy little whore.
What else is she in, man? I can picture her.
She's in all kinds of stuff.
There's Pepper Potts.
Most recently, she was one of the wives in Tag, but she's in tons of shit. Like,
yeah, she's in a lot. She is a pretty gal, let me tell ya.
she's not too shabby.
Shabaloo-boo. Uh-oh, Pepper Potts is jealous. And she's jealous of Pepper Potts, the only woman who really... I'm sure she's in love with that man whore Tony.
Right?
Like, come on.
Well, they've, I think their relationship is the only person on the planet that he's vulnerable to is her.
Is her.
And she sees that, and then so she sees something that the rest of the world doesn't get to see, and thereby sees something in him. But and he's also a brilliant dude and all that kind of good
And
stuff.
he's got mad cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, that never hurt.
Yeah. Maybe it's still a trust fund. You never know. But
Daddy's money. Daddy's boy.
that'd be amazing. So, but I got to tell you, it's still astounding how like Marvel bet on themselves so heavily for this, because they leveraged so many of their characters and stuff, like the rights to them, to get money to make this, that banks would have owned most of the rights to Marvel characters had this movie failed.
Whoa.
Had this they don't have.
Could you
lists of
imagine
who
in the next Scotiabank commercial, it's Vision?
That would
Can you envision yourself with money in the future?
That would be
With our new
amazing.
checking account, you can...
Quicksilver is Chase Bank.
Yeah, exactly, right? Fucking right on. You get a stamp at the bank. It's Iron Man.
That would be amazing.
Ironclad contract for your RRSP.
See, there's a lot of there's a lot of great
the thing
marketing things you could do with that.
the thing that I just can't, obviously Marvel, if anybody was going to do it,
Yeah.
they really changed the game.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because like these movies are fucking like comic books come to life. Not this one so much, but as they go along, they get crazier action and real really like out of the pages of a comic book.
Yes. But this one, this one does have some good like right out of the pages of comic book moments later on.
Yeah.
Because it has like that, like him catching the car thing and stuff.
Oh yeah,
That's right out
he
of
blasts off and
but this one humanized a comic book movie more than any other one even came close.
But it also because like these studios, we're always watching these fucking movies, and it's like the studio has the people writing the movie have no idea. They're just like dudes, old white dudes that are around a boardroom. That's like, what people like? Wheels for hands. And it's like, oh, we'll make Pepper Potts have wheels for legs. Stark Industries.
You say that, but that's not a bad idea.
You know what I mean?
We could have stopped that Goop website from happening altogether.
Oh, fuck that. But you know what I mean? These guys knew the story. They took from the source material, which people never do. Like, at least to a certain extent. Like, I know we didn't start off in Afghanistan, you know, and all this shit, but...
Well, they had to update it because I
right,
think it was...
exactly. But they did really well with, like, not fucking with it.
Yeah. I agree. And I like that they even have to make the planes look crazy.
Yep.
Like, everything. But, like, every single thing that happens in an MCU movie is a decision.
Yep.
And it's like, you know, it's like that flower's there for a reason. And it's probably like that's an ode to Vision because Paul Bettany is the voice of Vision.
Adam Warlock.
Yeah. Like it's
the exact shape and size
it's
of Adam
awesome.
Warlock's penis.
Now, hot take. I'm glad Don Cheadle is doing War Machine. Like I like Terrence Howard. I like Terrence Howard. But a lot of people always say, no, the original's better, blah, blah, blah. But I think that Don Cheadle has the exact, like him and Robert Downey Jr. together is such a good chemistry,
right?
So much better than like they feel like more friends than these two do. Like this
look
really
at the background
forced.
here. Look at the background.
Yeah, I know. Like this feels really forced compared to him and Cheadle. And Don Cheadle had a better chemistry with all the other characters. Like I don't picture him.
I don't either.
in
Actually,
Infinity
I
War
agree with you. That's Ghostface Killer in the background. Iron Man.
Do you know why they're doing that?
Oh, here comes the stripper pole.
Yeah. Do you know why that video's in this though? Because Ghostface Killer was given a role in this movie and it got cut out. He would play like a sheik or something.
They threw
like
him
that.
on the.
Yeah, so they're like they threw him.
That's wicked. I fucking love Ghostface. Wu-Tang forever.
Forever.
General.
Except when those killer bees are around.
Oh man, I know. I'm allergic to bees.
I'm not allergic
to
them.
Killer bees. I'm not either, but I don't want to be stung by 8,000 of them.
See, yeah, this is.
Oh, he's come here to give like a bomb, like a weapons presentation.
Yeah.
This is where they bring out the Johnny Fives.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Stark Industries totally should have created Johnny Five.
That would be great. The thing I also like about the Marvel movies over the DC movies is Batman and Superman and all, they have this deep ingrained code. This is how I have to be and this is how I'll always be. And then like there's always this
not if you watch the Snyder version.
Yeah, Jesus. But like the whole point of them is like I'm always this is who I always am. And then like all the movies and everything go, oh, this isn't who he's like, you can't be that this time, and he's like, oh yeah, watch me, and then he does. And that's
watch me.
And that's basically every single movie. But these ones, the guys bend, the guys are, the guys are flawed. The guy, like Captain America doesn't want to be a part of the Avengers anymore by Winter Soldier.
There goes that mountain range.
Yeah, hope you didn't.
Holy God, like they would have been like toast.
I watched this short video. It was an excerpt from a documentary about the people who were present for the nuking of Japan. And it was all these naval guys who were on this boat, and they were talking about because they were told they had to turn away from the blast and cover their eyes. And they said when the blast hit, they could see through their eyes, through their arms.
Whoa!
So they through their eyelids, and they could see the bones in their arms.
Whoa!
And they were like, if I was looking at somebody else, I would see their blood vessels and all that other stuff. And they were like, and then when the blast hit us, he's like, it felt like a fiery ghost walking through me.
Cool.
And then he's like, and then so many of us got knocked back and stuff. Like we were over a mile away.
Oh, now we're back to.
Yeah, then they're caught up.
The fuck's happening?
They were miles away.
This is the second time this happened to him?
No,
oh my God.
This is where we're now caught up. He's like, but anyways, they were miles away. And they were getting knocked over and getting broken limbs and stuff like that from the blast.
Yeah.
Then they were allowed to turn and look at the mushroom cloud, and then all of them were just started crying, and they're like, "I can't believe that we did that."
Look what we just did.
It's crazy though, and like to feel to hear firsthand that effect of people. Like obviously not the ones who survived, who were actually on the island, because that must have been much worse. But,
yeah. Oh,
that grosses me out to no end.
Whoa. Boop. Oh God!
Like the only solace is that I know they didn't do that to him for real. Like it was probably just all stuffed up there, like
they
in
didn't
like
have
a
the money.
loop. Yeah,
this is on location, bro. They jam that right up in there.
It's like
when
catheters.
when a propane tank, if a regular sized propane tank blows up, you got to be way far back.
Oh yeah.
Or if a big one blows up, and you're like, you need to be like a mile away from the thing. Yeah. That bomb would have just like liquefied their insides.
Yeah. Yeah, like his back would have been broken.
Yeah, they would have been fucked.
This is
shit.
This is something he plays really well in this moment too. Is all this fear Of kind of like, what the fuck
What
have you
the
done to me? Like, you've turned me into a
hell?
monster. But, and this is
Oh fuck.
like obviously the biggest analog to Iron Man is Batman. You've got the rich guy who uses the tools and stuff like that.
Oh, that looks
But
good.
I find at least how they've portrayed in the movies, like Iron Man is done so much better because he never really changes who he is. But like, you know, he's this brilliant dude and he's always tinkering and doing whatever.
Right.
But in any version of the Batman movie, like he knows stuff, but he mostly buys stuff. He's just like, oh, I had these shipped in from China and like we can build this out of
It's all
this.
from
And
China.
it's
It's
like,
cheaper.
yeah, exactly, right?
Oh, I thought this guy was doing it like
Walking Dead.
as like a you have to do something for us or else this will blow your heart up. I forgot this guy helped him.
Yeah. And it's fun. And
It's keeping that piece of shrapnel from going all the way in.
Yeah. And they did a brilliant thing too with him because he mentions in a moment that they had met before. And then in Iron Man 3, you actually see the moment that they meet.
Oh.
So it's like, it was cool. Like they hired that. I wondered if that guy had thought about that during this. He's like, oh, I hope that moment comes up sometime. It seems weird that I would have just mentioned it. Right. And then Iron Man 3 comes around and he's at a party. And then it was, say, this is, I'm talking about it right now. But
Wasted. That's the only way anybody can give a friggin'.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Here we go.
But that's what I like about
comes
him.
the
Like
Fuhrer.
he's so high function and stuff like that. Like no matter what's going on, he can be
He's
really,
still,
he
yeah.
can be really brilliant, and he's thinking about all this.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, exactly. It's the I'm trying to think of what one he's in, but he reminds me very much of. This reminds me of the guys from True Lies.
Yes. This
like-
is Crimson Jihad.
This is Crimson Jihad, but this is at least this one's in a post 9/11 world where True Lies wasn't. So this is why these guys are more Middle Eastern. But in this, they're actually working for the 10 Rings. So these guys are working for the Mandarin.
Ah. They never met him. They don't know they're working for him, but they are.
Yeah, it's like the 10 Rings is like a parent company. So it's like
That's what they need to do in like the next. Well, the next Iron Man's probably not gonna happen because he's probably dead. But
yeah, who knows?
whatever the hell.
But
They said that there was. I'm trying not to look at anything for Avengers 4.
yeah, I've seen virtually
But
nothing.
no,
just know
I
that
haven't
they've-
looked at anything. I just see a picture
Yeah,
of. Remember we used to do this? Oh man, like how long we tie your arms up with a cord and stick your head in the water for see how long you could hold your breath.
still the only way I can come.
I know, right?
But,
Oh my god. Oh, but anyways, there's like a children's book that came out, like loosely based on the Avengers 4, and apparently it has actual plot points in it of the movie.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
because
weird.
it came into my news feed, and I was like, nope.
That's crazy. They the only things I've seen a couple
Holy fuck.
I've seen a couple of set photos that informed some theories about what might happen and stuff
Right.
like that. And then I found out, like I read about when Chris Evans rapped shooting Avengers 4.
Oh yeah, when Captain America
And-
does that big rap to save the world.
Yeah. No, it's just like the day he was
Yeah, yeah.
wrapped from the movie.
Oh,
he
it's
had
great to play
like,
a guy
he made-
or whatever, whoever he
Yeah.
plays there.
It was nice. So a couple of big guys. Apparently Hugh Jackman was offered this role, which is kind of interesting. I think that Marvel was just
Was
like,
he
this guy's good.
Wolverine yet?
Yeah, he had been
Okay,
Wolverine at that point. But I think that was the thing. I was like, he's the person everybody likes about a Marvel movie, so let's just keep him around. That would have been a gigantic mistake.
Yeah. I was gonna
For
say
both
that-
of them. For
I,
both the
I
Marvel
hope
and
that
Hugh Jackman.
it comes out eventually that Mandarin
Yeah.
is the guy that we know he is, and
No.
not this twist thing that they did.
No, that's true. That they did do that already because they did I can't remember if it was another one of those Marvel one-shot shorts or if it was an after the credits sequence. But there's a scene where you see Ben Kingsley in jail, and then he's like, "You've received a message," and then like it's like a 10 Rings thing. You find out that the
Oh.
Mandarin isn't getting.
Oh, it's actually okay. So it wasn't just the moniker of
because he's taking.
Pierce.
Yeah,
Pierce
because-
Guy.
Yeah,
Guy Pierce. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's taking because he's in jail and he's taking credit for being the Mandarin, and like everybody's like, "Oh, gotta watch out for this guy," and then he's like, "No, fuck you, dude. Like
Fuck yeah,
I'm the fucking Mandarin."
motherfucker.
I would like to.
Mandarin.
I would offer this guy anything to do that movie and do the Mandarin right, just for if no other reason. You can kind of then wipe 3 out, like the
Yeah.
complaints of 3 out, because
Right.
people don't mind
Big
if they're like,
setup.
oh, this thing was happening. But if that's what you get for the Mandarin, then you're like, ugh. But if they're like, oh, this was just a whole thing happening in the background while the Mandarin was really
Right.
laying in wait, then that's totally fine.
I dig this. What happened to here too, which is nice character development for like Stark, where it's like, look at what your weapons are doing.
Yeah.
Look at what your legacy is in
Yeah.
reality. It's not that
Yeah.
you're this rich playboy, it's you're a fucking mass murderer.
Yeah, you are a harbinger of death.
Yes.
Harbinger.
So like now he's gonna flip the scriznipped.
Yeah. So apparently,
Like his hobo gloves
yeah. Well, you got to be able to use your fingertips,
Yeah.
but you got to also
Yeah.
stay warm. So it's hard.
in the desert
Yeah. Well, the desert gets cold.
in the nighttime.
Yes.
Look at all that sunlight coming in.
And there's no sun.
I
Yeah,
know,
there's
it's,
friction.
it's just a light.
Yeah, they have one of those series of mirrors things, like in The Mummy, to keep it lit.
Nice. Oh yeah, like bouncing off everywhere. Yeah. When they he just said
Yeah,
something
they
about
just
the
mentioned
10
the
rings.
See, I am not a huge comic guy, and we've mentioned that before. But the so when I heard this mention of the 10 rings the first time, I didn't know anything about them. I spend a lot of my time after Marvel movies doing a lot of research to find out
Right.
things.
Me
Like,
too.
so-
Characters
yeah.
and who's this and who's that.
So I'm like,
or
they mentioned this. Is this something in the Marvel universe?
what are their
So,
powers?
yeah.
What? Who's the bad guy? I am very interested to see Kristen Wiig as Cheetah in the next Wonder Woman movie.
I want to, yeah. I know nothing
Ooh,
about that
yeah.
world. We were just talking about that Robert Kirkman's untold story of
Kirky.
comics and stuff like
Yes.
that. And one of the stories was actually the story of the guy who made Wonder Woman, and he was a dude who was apparently huge into S&M. And that was a big part of Wonder Woman in the comics, was her being tied up, and that's why the lasso of truth was a thing.
Oh yeah.
It's a really interesting
Get
story
all
though.
tied up. Oh,
But,
there he goes, making some plutonium.
You got it. But it's
Oh, an old battery.
well, I love it so
MacGyver
much.
Shit going on here.
And I like that.
Buddy, Jesus.
Yeah, and I like that he has this character to be kind of a grounder for him.
Right.
Like, he's the guy who saved him, and also the guy who sacrifices, and it's a really interesting
He
guy.
mentions this guy later. Surprised this
Yeah.
wasn't like his go-to guy. He probably gets killed. I think he
Yeah.
does.
You don't remember,
Yeah.
right?
No. I think he
That's
dies
funny.
horribly.
That's funny. Yeah, this movie had been in development on and off for like a dozen years. I think Canon Films at one point was trying to get their hands on this.
Oh, look, he's making his own. Is that his new?
Yeah, that's the arc.
new heart
his new
piece?
arc thing. Yeah, the arc reactor. But Nicolas Cage during that point of development tried to
God.
get into play. So this was in the 90s. So
Oh
like Con
my
Air
God! Could
time
you
and stuff like that.
imagine Nick Cage
I actually
and whatever
yeah.
character choices he might have made?
I-
He would have done the.
I'm Iron Man. I'm wearing a machine.
He has to say these things. Yeah.
I came to Afghanistan to drink myself to death.
No, that's not it.
Mhm.
We'll keep it.
But then
anyways.
to make you happy, once it kind of left the realm of development, somebody new tried to put it in development. Tom Cruise tried to get them, tried
No.
to produce and create.
he would have
this.
been the man.
But Marvel was kind of biding their time because they've been spending a lot of time waiting to get the rights to all their characters back and stuff. So they had been trying really
there
hard.
it is.
I remember
The
thinking
first
how
Hulk Buster armor.
pretty much. I
Well,
like
I guess
this
it
too.
does get pretty cold.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all those potato flakes flying around. Get your fucking hand off the microphone.
Sorry, that was the can. That wasn't my fault.
This is the cake.
Just because I was holding the can. I love
Oh, look at that, eh?
the look of the arc
Fuck that,
reactor
I know what I wanna do then.
and its evolution as well, because like it's gotten smaller and it's changed shape a couple of times, like because he's constantly. That's another thing I
Is
like.
that backgammon?
Yeah, and then like he's constantly tinkering, and that's a very Tony Stark thing, right? Like he's
He's a tinkerer, all right.
That's why there's not one Iron Man suit, and he just kept reproducing that design. He has, I think they say by the end of Iron Man 3, he has like 45 different suits.
Holy jeez.
Because he keeps updating. He's like, well, I want one that does
yeah.
this, and I want one that does this. Then by Infinity War, it's all the nano tech that just
That
comes
shit's
out.
fucked. Nanotech.
See, I like that a lot,
Little
though.
robots coming out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Like,
baby.
whatever.
I like that.
That's
how
too
they
far
do-
for me, that nano
See,
shit.
no, I'm down with that. I'm fine with that.
Come on, he's got like a button, he presses
Yeah.
the button, and then his
Well-
whole suit is there. Like, come on.
Well, because anybody who agrees on what the future of technology is says it's nanotech, like in real life. So they're like, that's why him and Black Panther both use nanotech for their suits.
So they could. So what's her name's better than Tony or what? Using the vibranium, Chicky Poo from Wakanda.
Oh yeah,
Black Panther's fixer-upper lady.
Oh, absolutely. But let's also like think of it as a matter of access. They have like unlimited supplies of vibranium.
Have a lot of crazy shit going on there.
He's only ever heard of it. There's a shield. Like that's basically it, right? So
he's got to go with what you want, you know?
Yeah, you got.
He's like a mechanic. He's like a Cuban mechanic versus somebody in like the States.
Exactly.
You're good.
Putting a washing
because you got to work
in.
with all this shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the people who were set to create this movie,
leg down.
I love that. Some of the people who were set to like make this movie
Time to go party
during the time that it was in development.
Right.
Quentin Tarantino was going to write and direct it in
No
99.
way.
2001, Joss Whedon was on board.
Ooh.
Nick Cassavetes.
Close.
Yeah. Nick Cassavetes actually signed on to do it in 2004. And then it went nowhere. And then Jon Favreau got the job when it was finally ready to go in 2006.
Jumped the gun a little bit. Well, they knew they wanted the old weeder, eh?
Yeah. And sorry, when Canon Films was developing this in the 80s, they wanted Tom Selleck to play.
Oh, wicked.
Everybody wanted Tom Selleck to star in their movies. What is with that?
Yeah, I don't know. They all love Tom Selleck.
They wanted him to be Indiana Jones. They wanted
He's
him to
grabbing his titties.
I would have loved to have seen Canon Film because we've seen the Roger Corman Fantastic Four and the Captain America and all these different things. I would have loved to have mixed that Iron Man into the mix, the canon Iron Man.
Oh, I want the Roger Corman Avengers to be.
Oh,
Ray Fiennes should have made an appearance in here. It's the original Avenger. Hello.
That would have been amazing.
His bowler cap and his umbrella.
Actually, funny.
Call yourself an Avenger.
Watching another, or listening to another podcast, they always go to the Amazon reviews, and they were doing that Avengers, and most of the 5-star Amazon reviews were for the Marvel Avengers, not knowing that they just clicked on the wrong movie.
Nice. What have you filmed?
And then one guy who gave it a really shitty rating, they're like, "This movie's not worth it. The only reason I bought it was from like falsely high ratings given to it because they thought this was the other Avengers movie."
Who goes by that though? And when you look at it, don't you think you know, like, oh yeah, this is the one?
Unless somebody was like a diehard like Uma Thurman fan, is like, I want to get everything Uma's in.
Ooh, Uma's feet.
Another hot take: she is a garbage actor.
Whoa.
Who's never been good in anything she's ever done.
What are you talking about? She was awesome in Kill Bill.
She's like a good fighter, but listen to her act for 5 seconds and then tell me that's good acting.
Big toe.
Like, just awful.
No, she acts like she should have in the movie. It was like one of those.
Yeah, well, she didn't speak much
like
in it. So
Kung Fu exploitation.
Yeah.
I disagree completely.
You get away with it in that one, but then you do Batman and Robin. You do.
Lord. You
do Dangerous Liaisons. You do The Avengers. You do like it's one movie after another of her just like.
Whoa, buddy, whoa.
I would compare her acting quality as when Lindsay Lohan played Elizabeth Taylor in that Liz and Dick mini.
Oh my Lord, that was riveting.
Yeah.
Stick it right up his nostril.
Yeah, I don't really know what the plan was. Were they just going to drop it on his face?
I think they were going to like stick it in his mouth, close his mouth hole up.
He's bent over. He could have stuck it up his beehole. This is my favorite shot from this movie, actually. You got the thing going through. You got him.
Pissed.
He's got some piss and vinegar.
Pissed.
But I remember how excited
he's got some
I was.
Muscle on him.
This was actually, and I will like just, be fully honest here. I remember watching this movie and one of my first thoughts going, I wish I was watching this with you.
Nice.
Because I knew the moment that his eyes light up in the shadow.
He's feeling it there, eh?
I knew exactly what your face was going to be. And like, I was just like, it would have been you and me just air punching the whole time.
He looked badass. That look he gave was wicked.
Mm-hmm.
They said apparently that they had a big problem with him. He was supposed to be in Gravity with Sandra Bullock. And the director said that he was like, if you give Robert Downey Jr. like a big wide area, kind of a thing, like to do his thing. He's great, like an Iron Man and this and that. But he said, but we enclosed him into this spacesuit, into this tiny space, and he couldn't do it.
I kind of understand that.
Yeah.
He's definitely a character.
Yeah.
You know? They needed somebody subdued, and that's really what, like, all of George Clooney's roles are very inward.
Yeah.
And that's what that is, an inward movie. Robert Downey Jr. is not an inward person.
No, he's not.
So it just
I
doesn't
wonder if you
work.
found that offensive when Buddy said that.
No, he
I mean,
probably
when you have that much money, you just laugh like
he
Tony
was
Stark would.
He was Scrooge McDuck swimming through his
yeah,
money. He's not
exactly. He didn't even
concerned.
hear it. He was too far down on the coins.
Mm-hmm.
Some ricochets off gold coins, you know.
I wonder if there's some deleted scenes where they're doing secret gay shit. Because I picture that this was like a couple of months, right?
Secret gay shit.
Like that's why they put up that wall so the cameras.
Oh,
can't
here we go.
see
Here we
him.
go. Look, he's got a suit on.
Oh.
He's breaking out of this motherfucker.
And I like it too because
I forgot that like the whole movie doesn't take place here, and the end of it is not this scene right here.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Easily could have been.
Yeah, like
This could have been one giant movie.
Boom!
Yeah,
Here he comes.
Yeah, this could have been one giant movie. Then then him returning home, and then the whole thing with Obadiah Stane and all that. See, that's the one problem I have with.
Oh fuck!
I think Marvel is more guilty of this than DC, but Marvel bad guys are always just the opposite of the other bad guy. And I say that, and then I'm like, well, what about Bizarro Superman and Reverse Flash, idiot? But
Yeah.
but you know what I mean? Like, there's
No,
always,
that's always Iron Man and Spider-Man.
yeah.
It's like the Venom, Carnage, and there's like this guy, and then he's got to fight his own suits, and then there's bad Iron Man, and it's like holy fuck, like.
But like Captain America, like Red Skull was built to be a super soldier, and it went wrong.
And like Bucky,
Winter Soldier, like it's always
essentially
like
another Iron Man.
Black Panther went against another black guy. That's not being racist. It's
No,
just the
but
way
but he was the Black Panther too.
yeah, he was just the other Black Panther.
Yeah.
So it was like,
Yeah, you're right. Actually,
yeah, it happens a lot, and it definitely happens
mirror
more.
match.
It happens way more in Marvel, but I think that they do it less lazily than Superman and the Flash did.
Yeah,
Because
I
like
still
literally,
really like that Reverse Flash. Not gonna lie to you.
yeah, no, and it's fine to like them. It's
Sure, those
just,
bullets are ricocheting and killing him.
yeah, he should be absolutely dead from his own ricochets.
Oh,
But-
there you go. You just wait till everybody's trying to scare them off into their our
how-
tactical formation.
Look at how old that
Oh
laptop
shit! He's
is.
sucking the juice right out of the thing.
Yeah, I remember just
Oh,
being so
yeah.
excited about this. This is a great
Yes, it is.
moment in movies, and this I feel like was the moment that made, like, when the Marvel people were sitting back and saw this happen in like theaters in LA and stuff like that. They would probably all just lean back and be like, "We got this."
This
like,
is it.
green
Yeah.
light
Oh,
all the other
fuck
movies
yeah.
right now.
I like too that he works up to the new suit.
Yep.
That's like, because a lot of the time they don't need the origin story like 50 times with Spider-Man. We're going to reboot. We're going to retell the same story again. It's like, holy fuck, man.
Well, I like that they didn't do that in this new version of Spider-Man.
Homecoming or whatever.
It's literally just
Yeah.
them walking down the street, and he's like, "So that happened to you?" And he's like, "Yep." And that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Look,
Oh,
it's so
shit.
good. So this is the design that's based on the early Iron Man, like his first comic
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I love it because, again, what are you gonna do when you don't have your factory? You're just gonna work with what you got,
Oh,
and it's
fuck
like
yeah.
you can even see the little like chinks in the armor and stuff like that. Where
I've only got one. I've got one night, but that's what I'm going for Halloween as.
That'd be great.
That would be a good Comic-Con. I'm sure somebody's done the old. They probably had every fucking Iron Man going at these Comic-Cons
This would
and
be
made up ones.
Oh, absolutely. This would be a really interesting one to do. It would probably be an easier one to do too. Like if you can use like PVC and stuff like
Tinfoil.
that. Well,
Tinfoil and a flashlight stuck to the middle of you, done.
Nice. I actually, we have the perfect thing at work. We have these lights at work
yeah.
that like they're just those push-in lights, and it's the perfect shape and the way the lights go. It looks just like the arc reactor, and it's like so good.
Oh shit!
See,
Run! What are they backed up into the fucking corner? Run!
what the one thing I never understand.
Oh, that guy got hit by the door.
Yeah. The one thing I never understand. Anyways, the one thing I never understand is why the guys I love this moment too. That's so good.
Done.
But like, why can't we allow
friends?
No, why can't we just allow for a different race to be the terrorists during a period of time? Because we're always just like wrestling and all that, we're always the bad guys are always the ones we're at war with.
Yes.
So it's the Russians when the Cold War is on. It's
boo.
the Middle Easterns.
Here he is.
But like, why could this could have just been any like this could have been like a
Whoa.
it should have really been like a Chinese syndicate with the Mandarin, right? If they're the 10 rings. Like,
missiles,
I like that he doesn't
range,
really
brah.
know how it works either. It's so good.
Close range missile
Jensen.
fire off.
It's so good.
Stark, I'm bleeding on all the chips.
And I like that it's not flawless either. Like he's getting stuck. He's like, I don't know how this shit works. I just put
He
it
just
together.
smacked it. Didn't he smack it to make the missile go off?
Well, there was that, and then when he like got his arm stuck in the wall from swinging at the other guy, and
Good to see the nose stuck.
and then he's like, I don't believe in the afterlife. You're like,
I proved its non-existence 3 years ago.
yeah, your lights are just about to go out, buddy.
Look at him. He's emoting.
It's
His
true.
friend.
I really I've mentioned that,
look at that. Oh,
I know.
yeah.
I've mentioned this movie before, and it's not like a huge thing for him or anything like that.
This
but
is
his
his
work in The
turning point.
Judge is outstanding.
I never saw it.
Really
With him
good.
and Robert. Oh fuck! Here
Really
he
good.
comes. Look
And
at that.
then afterwards they do Willie Nelson has a version of Coldplay's The Scientist, and it made me cry.
Wow.
So that happened.
You cry during everything. You cry when you get a remainder long division.
I do not. like
Oh, here he is.
So now you actually get to see him in light, because that's one thing. You could have easily sold this as something cool in the dark, but it's like once you make it come out into light, then it's like now it has to hold up like for film.
Yeah.
And it looks so cool in that it looks so bad.
Shoot him
because
in the eyeballs.
Ugh.
Oh fuck yeah! How do you like your ribs?
Yeah. And this is something that's missing from the current Marvel movies.
Full body
I-
burns.
Well, no, well that too. But I like a big complaint about the
Whoa.
newer Marvel movies and stuff. It's like they're always fighting like these like non-human entities, like just a bunch of aliens or just a bunch of robots or something. I was like, but you got to realize two things. A, you can't murder 1 million people
Exactly.
in a movie and still be
Please burn
PG-13
the
or
whole
whatever.
place down.
But also, you can't like to CG humans that you have like this unlimited amount of that you'd be fighting wouldn't look as good. So it's like you have they have
plus,
reasons for
like
what they're doing.
plus, like what you want to watch the Avengers like take on humans. Like,
Yeah.
how easy would that be? It has to be somebody half believable to.
yeah,
Oh, look at this! So he's
Yeah,
getting
you
the
have-
shit fucked up now.
yeah, you have to have something that's formidable.
Oh
like,
yeah, look at all the explosions going off here.
boom.
Fucking leg working, bro.
Yeah, especially in something like the Avengers, where you have all of the big guys, and you're like, what if they were just facing off against like Obadiah Stane? It would be over in 5 minutes.
Obadiah Stane. Look,
It's
there
a
he
horrible
goes.
name, but it's
The
true.
Rocketeer.
I know. Oh my god, that movie.
Oh shit!
I remember I had a.
This probably would have killed him.
I would think. I don't know.
Oof. He landed in sand.
Yeah, he's fine.
Come on now.
Sand's not hard, right?
That was a nice explosion.
Mm-hmm. This is it's so well put together, and Marvel's really good at the humor, but not too much humor. Like it's just like, hey, I just had this really serious.
It's a
moment
nice
now, but
balance.
I think that it's always been a good balance. Like there's ones that are funnier than they need to be, but are still not so intensely crazy that it's.
Like which one? Like Guardians of the Galaxy?
Guardians or Thor Ragnarok. I think
I think they were great.
I think they were both really good, but I think that of all the ones that had that were way more humor than everything else, it would be those ones.
Right.
But they weren't bad.
But I don't think it
movies
was
by any
misplaced
stretch.
because when the
No.
drama came in, it was still good.
No,
Like
absolutely.
when he sees his mom and you're like, oh my God, I'm crying during this Marvel
Absolutely.
movie.
But there's like a couple of little moments in
Hey.
yeah, there's a
They
couple
missed
moments
him.
in like Thor where he's just like, you're the worst or something like
Yeah.
that. And I'm just like, but at the same time, he's also influenced by the people he's been with. So he's been with all these humans, and he's like, there's a lot
Found
of
him. The end.
You
You should do the platoon.
Now, were they looking for him?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's him.
Yes.
So yeah, they were looking for him. But like, really, what were the odds?
We're actually going to the store for sodas, man. There you are.
I like this. This is a good friend moment between them, though, because like he has probably been the friend who is like, we have choppers in the air until we find him.
Now that you've said like it, now I feel like Buddy's overacting.
Who, Terrence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like he's overdoing it.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just acting styles. Like Don Cheadle is just like, he just seems like a more confident actor. You know,
Ooh,
why
Terrence
did
would
they?
hate to hear
Why
that.
was he in the wheelchair and then they got him out in time to bring him down? Were they afraid that did they realize they were gonna wheel him down for the film, but then they realized that this thing is too steep and they didn't want to drop him, so they were just like, okay, how about we
Okay,
just
you can walk.
Can you just limp? It'll be fine. They actually wanted Rachel McAdams to be Pepper Potts.
Ah, too young.
Which she was, especially at this point, she was too young. I think that Gwyneth Paltrow was actually quite good in this role.
I think she's fantastic as Pepper Potts.
And I don't say that a lot about her because it's almost never true. But but in this movie, she's exactly the right person. She's serious. She plays the comedy well. She's a perfect straight man straight woman for Tony. It's really good. I want an American cheeseburger. Were they feeding him Middle Eastern cheeseburgers? That would be amazing. It's like, I want your dirty wet snatch on my face right now.
Tony Stark is so like, if anybody I knew could be him, it's my buddy Kevin in Toronto. Totally, like every time I see Robert Downey Jr., I'm like, there's fucking Kevin right there.
Yeah.
Hey, here he is. Hey, look at the bald dude.
You know your car's expensive if the door opens backwards.
Yep.
That would freak me out.
Is that
like,
a thing? Is it? Oh, like a BK. Well, they throw the spot in there.
Yeah. And what was funny too was he was well known for saying what his rock bottom was when he was an addict. He's like, one day I was sitting there eating a Burger King cheeseburger and I knew that this was it. He literally said that, and then he's in a movie that's sponsored by Burger King essentially. And
That was his rock bottom.
so here's Phil
That's
Coulson.
some people's tops of the tops. There he is.
This is the beginning of Phil Coulson. Who
Fucking
would have imagined the journey he would go
Yep.
on in the MCU? Now we're gonna go on most of this journey with him because we're doing all these movies.
We certainly are.
But like, he got so popular to a point where he got his
Isn't
own
that crazy?
goddamn TV
Yeah, they liked
show
him so much that they friggin'
that he's now directing. By the way, like,
Oh,
it's
he
just,
is?
yeah.
directing what?
He's directed multiple episodes of Agents of Shield.
No shit.
Yeah,
Oh, he's going for burger number 2.
yeah. Well, at that point, yeah.
Munching his BK. They probably did this on purpose
Yeah.
with the Burger King.
I imagine what his thought was. He's like, okay, so we're going to give you this BK. And he's like, is this an inside joke against me? He's like, no, they gave money.
Hey, yeah.
Uh,
Burger King's not that bad. Come on.
Burger King's fine. No, but it was one of those things like where I think he was like so high and he would just happen to
right.
be eating it while he made that realization.
I thought the realization would have been when somebody woke him up and he was just walked into somebody's random house and crashed out
he
on
was
their couch.
sleeping on it was a child's bed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was not great. But
Did they know who he was?
I imagine somebody did. No, probably they saw somebody in the bed and then called and they got like brought out and he's like, oh my God, that's Robert.
It's
Downey
Robert
Jr.
Downey Jr.
I would have woken
Like,
him up.
because he was in a lot of shit by that time still.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if he was a household name,
he is.
but he was in Chaplin and stuff by then, wasn't
Oh
he?
hell yeah,
Yeah.
But he is to me the epitome of why giving somebody like second chances can work.
Right.
Because he was given so many second chances and it never worked. And then finally it came through. And now not only is he the movie star, he's also a mega philanthropist. He does like the nicest charity shit for people.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that video where he brought he as Tony Stark delivered a prosthetic for a kid?
Oh, yes,
Like
I
that-
did. Yeah.
Cried during that too.
That's cool. That's so cool, eh?
Yeah. I may watch that.
What
again
did he
tonight
just do?
to
He just
cry it
did
out.
just to cry. Sometimes you go cry.
You're just gonna do it. And my Adele records in the thing.
So what did he just said like we're shutting down the weapons part?
Yeah, he just said effectively immediately Stark's no longer there.
Shows up on a Segway.
Which I wonder had that killed the guy who invented the Segway
Yeah.
at this point?
Yeah, I don't know actually.
I don't know when
he
that
was
happened.
doing his I don't see them around very often
Jeff
anymore.
Bridges. This is probably the most different role Jeff Bridges ever did after the 90s. Because he was always doing he was that blown away kind of actor,
Right.
like Arlington Road and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. He's like, we gotta get out of here. There's a bomb.
Yeah, I know he's
man."
just his panic face,
Yeah.
right? Like his
And then the
run.
Yeah. And then the Big Lebowski hit Reset, but this is the first time he was a serious guy for a long time.
Oh, he's awesome.
He's really, really fucking talented, and this was a good role for him. him, and I think because he's got kind of a dad thing standing over him, and he talks very much like an old man who doesn't have his own teeth anymore, though.
Yeah.
I just saw he did a little move with his mouth that where
he's
he
got a
just
real
did that.
drawl thing going on.
Yeah. Oh man. To shut
the hippies up.
I like this thing, and that's actually something I really liked. Recently, I had seen Iron Man 2 again. It was kind of what helped spark this whole idea of doing all this stuff, and it was fun watching him discover the new element and stuff like that. And it was interesting watching him go through like the emotional journey of thinking he was dying and all of this kind of stuff. Like there's a lot going on in there that just gets masked by shitty Mickey Rourke, his shitty Whiplash.
Yeah.
So I think like what I'm trying to do,
I don't think Mickey Rourke was shitty as Whiplash. I just think that they wrote the role shitty.
Exactly. It was, I'll agree to that. But he actually had, but they didn't let him do much. He just kind of laughs at these.
Yeah.
My bird. Like that's basically all he does through the entire
And then
movie.
they finish him off in like 12 seconds. They could have made him something like.
They finished off twice in 12 seconds. It's like watching two Tyson McNeely fights.
They both just beam him.
Yeah.
He should have whooped him. He's got that whiplash thing going on. Cut right through the damn F-150 car.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, fuck, man, he could have taken the arms off of the Iron Man suit and he has to build something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could have got whipped.
That would have.
He could have whipped him good in their first fight. And then he's like, holy shit, I had nothing on this guy. And he doesn't even have a suit on.
Yeah. Nothing makes me happier than when I see. I know I've said nothing makes me happier a lot in the last couple of movies. But yeah, I always love when I see.
Seems like a lot of things make you happy.
I know, and why am I so fucking depressed all the time then? But the when they make these like news people and stuff like that, like do these movies, like in Iron Man 2, Bill O'Reilly is doing like a news thing about Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why would you like forget about all the Fox News and all that stuff, but why would you, as a guy who's on like an anchor on a news channel, go, yeah, no problem, I'm gonna use my my influence to be like, you know, to bring gravitas to this news scene.
Right.
Just hire anybody, like hire a Bill O'Reilly, like, you know.
If I was Robert Downey, I would have worked out a little bit more.
Yeah, he's in.
But it's kind of cool that he did it because they're all like, I'm so ripped and like.
Well, and also,
you know what I mean? He doesn't need to be. He's got the Iron Man suit on.
But also think of where he is in his life right now. Like he's just been a drunk and he's just been whatever. In the next,
no. But he also was for 3 months in a prison.
That too,
right?
But his next movie, he's in better shape because now he's training and fighting, and
right?
All that stuff.
I forgot this movie has like the montage of him like with the suit.
Yeah.
Trying to get the suit flying and stuff.
That's great.
Oh, yeah. This is like an old Pringles can.
I really like this scene, too, of just the grossness and the... you mean
Operation, yeah.
He has, like... And I think that maybe that's something that got lost. And when people were talking about him, like when people were talking about Iron Man 3, and they were like, oh, it's going to be like kiss, kiss, bang, bang. It's going to be all jokey and whatever. I was like, he's always like his... chemistry.
Shane Black did that.
Yeah, Shane Black did that. His chemistry and all that kind of thing never really changed. Like he was the same in who he is in Iron Man 3 is who he is in this movie as far as like his, you know, just his personality, right? So I don't
Smells he? Yes, it does.
Yeah. It's so like this is so gross. Oh. See, like, that's just a really funny thing. That's so gross to me, even though I know it's not real.
What the fuck?
You pulled it.
Don't put it back in.
Oh, man. This is the moment. See, this is something I was worried about.
Was that we would have one?
Yeah, was that we were going to have quiet moments because we were just rewatching a movie and enjoying it. This is why we got to watch more movies we hate.
Fucking right.
Super Mario Brothers. We're coming back. This summer, we're going to...
Gooping. It's probably cold. You think it's cold in there?
I don't know what it would feel like.
An arc reactor's at warm. We're all, you know, we got the warmness going on. You think you couldn't have everything coming from a cold center? If that thing's running his heart now, what's pumping through his veins?
It's not running his heart. His heart's bumping and whatever, but it's an electromagnet that's still keeping all the shit out of his chest.
Oh, right. Thought it was like his new heart.
No. It
You
just,
think that being in Wakanda that they could probably take that out of there?
well, he has it gone by the time that happens. Iron Man 3 gets it removed.
And then so why does he still have that thing in him?
He just has it. He puts one on him. It's not in him anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a good thing you're here, man.
I know, right? Because that was a big thing.
I pretty much just get a 6er into me during most Marvel movies.
There you go.
And
yeah.
by the time they would say, I'm 5 deep.
Yeah, because at the end of Iron Man 3, you see him have the surgery and he doesn't have a thing there anymore.
Oh, so it's just a symbolic thing then.
Mm-hmm. Well, in Infinity War, it's there and it is the suit. So he's just wearing it. It's the same way that Black Panther's wearing that necklace, which is the suit, right?
Well, then what about in the new one where he's trying to rip it out of him?
What?
Somebody's trying to rip it out of him. Aren't they trying to? Oh, no. Maybe I'm thinking of Jewel in Vision's head.
Yes. They
I
try
thought
to...
at one point he's like fucking with the thing.
Well, yeah, he grabs onto it because if he it powers the suit. So if he crushes then the suit's dead, right? So
always teaching how to fly. You fly boys, crack me up.
Goose.
This is where Tom Cruise could have been.
This would have been great, but
crossover, bro.
This is one of those things that like Iron Man is probably one of the most realistic like goals of military that makes this like kind of interesting too, because like they want to have these super
they would love to have a
stuff,
super suit, like come on.
But the problem is, and they're like, it's the same thing that happens.
$5 billion.
This is where you need to support the troops most, because this is where they're like, yeah, we could do this awesome thing for them that would protect them and do all that, but we can't afford that shit. Their lives aren't worth that much to me.
There's lots of people to fill that spot.
Yeah, exactly. The second, it was like while we're getting these guys killed over there now, there's kids dropping out of high school all over the place.
Front line, right there.
You got it.
That's the front line, baby. I like that leather jacket.
I also like this idea too, that it's like, okay, look, you're making all these moves right now and stuff like that. You were literally just kidnapped and like imprisoned for months. It's like, calm down, get your shit together, don't be a crazy person. What is all this language? Is that all Star Wars language?
Ooh, Jarvis.
Yeah. So Jarvis in the lore of Iron Man, Jarvis is actually Howard Stark's butler. And then in this, his AI system is Jarvis, and it stands for just a really intelligent, or just a really very intelligent system.
Is that what it is?
Is what it is, yeah.
Huh.
And so I like this idea too of the streamlining.
This is like Minority Report style.
Yeah, that will be another technology.
Oh,
that
the
will
dink
exist
dinks are
sooner
out
than
here combing the desert. Holy fuck!
I love it.
They're finding they're finding the fucking all the gear. They know where he landed.
Yeah. Well, they probably
I found the crutch piece. Oh no, it's the face.
This is where the bottles came out.
Yeah, he said this guy's bad news.
He looks very similar to the bad guy in Ant-Man, whose name I can't remember. Corey Stoll. Corey Stoll, yeah. He's like a Middle
Mink
Eastern.
Stoll.
There you go.
I like that. I like that mask.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why I wanted that shot to kind of go through his eyes
hole.
You could see.
Man, look at this. He's fixing the coffee maker.
Yeah. Who would have thought that stupid robotic arm would be a popular character in the series as well? It's just like he sort of has a face like this.
That arm is what's going to stop Thanos.
Could you imagine if the end of the movie he's just about to kill Tony Stark and then all of a sudden the arm goes and grabs it and
we're like, yeah,
and just pulls the glove off of him and then puts the glove on itself and then snaps and makes him go away.
And then it goes nuts.
Wow.
I think
you guys spent, like,
you know,
$400 million for nothing.
As we go through these, obviously we'll be talking about part 4.
Yeah.
And I think that in part 4, all the characters we didn't see a lot of are going to have a really big part in it.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, they're going to have to, because it's like,
I heard that like Pepper Potts is going to be Iron Man. Like she's going to have her own Iron Man suit or something. I just read it and I was like, shit. I was like, I got to get out of here. I was like, damn you eyeballs. Damn you.
I guess in like the comics or something like that, she has like a suit that just for protection and stuff like that. And yeah, that's, and I think that probably.
Oh, here he is. He's testing out the super boots.
I like these scenes and they make it look kind of.
Oh,
it's so good. But I like that I know. That's so funny. I like that they make it look video enough though that it
like he's
that the
filming it
fact that it's
himself.
CG
Yeah.
is the fact that it's CG like almost
Looks all right
seems
to me.
believable.
I know the special effects are holding up so far.
Yeah, if for being like over 10 years old,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and usually when you watch them, even
Oh.
like the last Jurassic Park, not like dinosaurs die horribly, the movie.
Yeah.
But the first one, the one before it.
Yeah.
That one, even when you watch that one, you're like, ooh, it's looking a little dated. Like,
Yeah. Sometimes it happens.
well, it's because everything is CG. This is what I'm worried about for Infinity War.
Yeah.
Like years down the line, I don't know, man. This is the whole movie's a green screen.
Yeah. I don't know. They've been doing it really well though, because when you see certain scenes and then all of a sudden you see like an outtake or something from it, and you would have never guessed it was green screen, and then all of a sudden you see that there's a green screen in the background, you're like, what the hell?
Right.
Good example in the outtakes of Infinity War, there's the Stan Lee scene where he's standing on the street and his car gets shrunk, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Right.
His car gets shrunk. He's on a green screen. He's not standing on the street.
Right.
And I would have never guessed
Well,
that.
maybe
That's
if
all that,
maybe if the whole thing is green screen, then raise.
yeah. But
Fuck yeah.
it's really all a matter of how much you have to interact with the environment. If you have to interact with the environment like a lot, you don't want a ton of green screen and then like a box that's going for you to pick up and throw. But if it's just something that you're standing in, that you're just being immersed in, then I think it's fine. And I think that especially if you're doing realistic shit like that, where you're literally just going, hey, we're just going to take a photo of this, or take video of this place and just throw it in. I think that you can get away with doing a lot.
Do you think that it took a long time for the pizza guy to get up to this like mountain resort?
Oh.
And does Tony Stark's tip well?
Tony Stark probably accidentally gave the guy 10 grand.
Yeah.
He probably was just like, I don't know. How much does pizza cost?
Yeah,
Just keep the
exactly.
Change. Keep the change with this
The guy's
Sacagawea
like,
$10,000 bill.
Yeah, this is a human, sir.
Yeah.
Like, this is how I pay for things.
I picture that he has a drone that's sitting at the bottom of the hill, though. And it's just like speaking, and it's just got the money, like just comes out and he just takes the money and gives the
And
pizza
the
to
drone
it.
grabs it and then flies off. Yeah. How do I know this
Well,
is your drone and not someone else's drone?
Another classic Tony Stark thing. He does not like to be handed things. So he does not want, he definitely does not want, people to come and give him his pizza.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Got some arms going on here.
I like watching the. I like that. I like that he's just got a relationship. This is like one of those, like, this is a Castaway kind of thing, where it's like in this thing, it should just be him dealing with his own shit, but he still can manage to have a relationship with something that's not human.
He needs something to sass.
True.
Oh, going pretty good.
Look at his garage. It's like Jay Leno's garage.
Holy fuck, right?
How much would you give for
Tony
the
Stark
ability to
wishes
fly
he had
like
as
that?
many cars as Jay Leno.
I know. Well, that's because Jay Leno saved all his money on buying only denim and not spending his Tonight Show money. Speaking of which, right now while Conan is off the air on CTV, our Canadian station that airs Conan, they're airing all the old Conans.
Oh my God!
Like from just the TBS Conan, but yesterday they aired the second episode for like
ever.
Yeah.
Oh God,
So-
yes. Oh, this is where I don't want to be.
Yeah, don't melt all my cars.
Oh fuck.
I picture that they like these companies were like donating these cars, and then they had that scene. They're like, "Are you gonna melt our cars?" It's like, "No, it's going to be CG flames. You're gonna be fine." Yeah, I could picture them freaking out. You can't wreck it. You can't wreck it. This belonged to Johnny Carson.
Donate it to me then.
I know.
Of course, it's gonna be wrecked. We're making an action movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop it off a building for no
Michael
reason.
Bay. Can I just borrow 15 Lamborghinis for my new movie? Yes, sir, Michael Bay. What are you making? It's a drama about women in the South.
Yeah. It's just about a funeral procession of Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
I was like, they're actually just gonna be in neutral. We're not even gonna have them running.
Yeah, I can fly.
They made
Whoa,
this
second
so
coating.
pretty. That looked like a Darth Vader from the inside.
And that was always Paul Bettany, right?
Yeah, it's been Paul Bettany since the beginning. Yeah. This was actually this Iron Man suit was built by Stan Winston,
Sweet.
and this was the last.
It looks
movie
almost as good as his Wookiee suit from Star Wars Holiday Special.
Yeah.
Almost.
So good. But this was the last movie he did before he died.
Ah.
So Sorry for making fun of your legacy with those Wookiees.
Hey, man, so everybody's allowed a couple
Yeah.
misfires, man. Come on.
Yeah, the man made so many great
Holy
things.
fuck.
With the, like your Terminators and
RoboCop, the
RoboCop, so-
Gremlins.
Jesus, so good. You did it, buddy.
You did it, buddy. Look at that. See, that looks pretty good.
Something that's actually really interesting about this, and it kind of harkens back
Whoa.
to your point about like what's it called? Space movie there.
Gravity.
Is this movie was largely improvised.
Really?
Yeah, is they didn't have a like I said, they were working on a script, but the script was mostly story and the action points. So they built up the story, but they were like, I don't really know. We don't have the dialogue to get from A to B. So what started happening was Robert Downey Jr. got an office
Whoa.
next to Jon Favreau's office, and he'd go in and they'd start fleshing out the scenes and stuff like that, and then they would do a lot of like ad-libbing on set, and then people like Gwyneth Paltrow. This always happens in movies like this, though. You got people who are very adept at improv and stuff like that, like Robert Downey Jr., and then you have Gwyneth Paltrow and Jeff Bridges going, "What the fuck is he doing? Like, that's not what's written down."
Right.
And just not having any like. Not having any like idea of what to.
He's going to kill somebody this
Like-
damn thing. Oh, give me some of that ice cream, kid.
Uh-oh.
Blech.
I love
So wait, so like I don't understand. I don't get how they can put it like, and then we put a CG scene in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how the hell like
well, it's like again, like the story was fully fleshed out and stuff like that, and it was really just like
some of the dialogue.
yeah, and probably the way they say the dialogue, like they may have said, like we've got to get to blah blah blah, and then he takes that and changes the line.
How exhilarating would that be? My God.
It's one of those things like
Do they do the moonshot? Like the Batman?
Oh,
Oh,
no.
fuck, bro.
they don't. That would have been funny.
Oh,
though.
shit.
This is actually really kind of great what they do with this. He freezes up.
Yeah, something to think about next time, buddy.
That's the most terrifying shot in this movie to me. Imagine only being able to see through two tiny little slits as you fall to your
Dear God.
impending doom.
Breaking the ice, baby.
Yeah.
This movie's a lot more exciting than I remembered, actually.
Yeah.
If they did a much better job of this than Spider-Man.
Which Spider-Man? Are we
Any
talking
of
about?
them.
Okay.
You know,
Like,
this whole
just
just
an
the whole
origin
finding
story?
the
Yeah.
the origin story, like finding the finding your
Well, I think though that we also have the
Woo-woo.
advantage of this being the only Iron Man movie. Like
Right.
we've seen Spider-Man start a bunch of
bazillion
times. Like, and even in cartoons and stuff like that. Like without ever reading the comic, I knew how Spider-Man became Spider-Man. That's so great. I always wonder how the. I wonder how much that suit weighs. I'm sure I could probably Wikipedia and stuff like that for it to be so heavy that he falls through like 3 stories and crushes a car.
like holy
Like,
fuck,
it's
you
gotta
better
weigh
watch
at
out where
least
you're
1,000
landing that
pounds.
thing. Like Jesus, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, package has been. What's in the
this is-
box?
That would be amazing.
Gwyneth Paltrow's head
From pepper,
from herself.
pepper, salt.
It's cold in the winter. It's cold in the fall. It's cold when you
summer when it doesn't matter at all, which doesn't
Oh,
make sense.
When you don't have vinegar.
You don't have any balls.
You ran out of vinegar and French fries. Fish vinegar.
So, the score of the movie, Tom Morello helped do it because they wanted like a heavy guitar kind of score. So
They
like,
wanted riffage.
He got brought in to help do that score with him. Interesting thing too with Paul Bettany with Jarvis, he was not aware of the plot of this movie or anything like that. He was brought in for 2 hours to do all his lines.
Nah.
So he wasn't 100% sure what movie he did.
Had a couple drinks. I don't know
Yeah.
what I just did.
He literally, because he doesn't really refer
So-
to anything.
No, so he had no idea that there was like down the line he was gonna be a major
Vision.
character in the MCU universe.
They didn't know that that's how they were
even
gonna
at the
go about
time.
this.
What?
No.
That's crazy how that worked
So,
out, right? For two
yeah.
days in a booth.
Yeah,
No, 2
no, 2
hours.
hours in a booth.
2 hours in a booth. You're fucking Vision.
He literally did this as a favor to Jon Favreau, who Jon Favreau and him worked together on Wimbledon, I think it was, Paul Bettany. So he did this as a favor to him just to have a voice. And he literally did it for 2 hours and then literally out the door and went on vacation with Jennifer Connelly, who he's married to.
He is?
Yeah.
Good job, Paul Bettany.
You did all right. They go ass to ass
He was
constantly.
great in Solo.
Oh, he was really good in Solo. He's good in everything though.
Damn right he is. He's got the British chops.
He's really good in a movie that I hate, but A Knight's Tale.
Oh,
He was
what
really
a
good.
terrible
in that.
movie.
But I find him quite good in it.
Entertainment reporter.
Yes. Well, he's entertaining. He's like very TMZ worthy, right?
Oh fuck yeah.
So, the gold outfit wasn't the gold outfit like an outfit he actually has.
I think so.
Like,
He's got enough
yeah.
of them. He probably does have.
No,
one.
but I mean, like in the comics, it's like
Yeah, no,
that's
that's what
his
I mean.
ultimate.
Like probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. He likes the red and gold.
That looks so cool, though. The way they did that, too, again, because it's very hard, especially in these superhero
Ooh,
movies.
what brand of watch was that?
I have no idea.
Vlargian.
Yeah. You see those ones and you realize, oh, it's the most expensive. Like,
Is that
it's,
an
I've never heard of
Audi?
it. That's because I can't
Oh,
afford
yep.
it. Yeah, it is.
He drives an Audi.
It's a beautiful car.
Product placement.
I am.
I guess he's gonna
Yeah.
drive a vehicle though, right?
Yeah. I've always been a very function over fashion thing for cars. I really don't care. Like, I see people who love muscle cars and they're like, look how gorgeous this is
Garbage.
or whatever. I'm like, I don't care about any
Yeah, I
of that.
agree.
I like the tech in cars because it helps me get from A to B better.
Oh,
like those
man.
kind of things, right?
The mate of the boat I'm on
Yeah.
has a Tesla.
Yes.
Dude, it is fucking awesome.
Teslas are amazing.
Hey, there he is.
And that was and this is the first time where a status symbol of a vehicle has really attracted me.
right.
Other than like James Bond cars because they have missiles in the
Yeah,
things and
yeah.
stuff.
And like vibrators in the seats and ass warmers and
Mhm.
a thing that pops a drink up. Just
See-
one, but it's still pretty cool when you got a lady in the car.
I feel like I'm only 10 years away from looking like this version of Jeff Bridges. where
Oh
I'll have
my
a
god,
gray-
we can wish.
a gray
He looks
beard.
terrific.
But that's definitely how I'm gonna wear my like my black tie stuff.
there he is.
Yeah. So he originally, when he signed on, Coulson here, he signed on for a very small role, which was expanded exponentially when they started to see that he was having good chemistry with the other people. and
Right.
He was liked on set and stuff like that. So imagine this really was supposed to just be him in and out and then never seen again in another movie. To I'm the glue that puts
Yep.
all of these movies together.
It's crazy how it all.
Then get my own
Wow.
show.
He's like, seeing her with new
Low
eyes.
Dress. But yeah, he's so good. I'm
Uh,
really looking forward to seeing him because you'll see him at this age again in Captain Marvel
Oh, that's right.
because that takes place in the 90s. So,
oh, that's
so-
going to be the introduction to their newest, biggest threat, the Skrulls.
Yeah, that is the.
They're not showing them for nothing, guaranteed, man. The next big Avengers movie is going to
Yeah.
be versus the Skrulls with the
Yeah.
new Avengers team.
It's gonna be
headed by the two of us.
It's gonna be Secret Wars. Oh, that's another.
Secret Wars would be wicked.
It's another another Avengers thing I found out. Actually, between Avengers 3 and or Avengers Infinity War and Avengers 4, a few years have passed.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah. So I was like, well, that kind of blew my mind. I was like,
Yeah.
you would think that like it would
I
be
thought it was going to take place right after.
Yeah, it would be right after with these guys going, we got to solve the problem.
Oh,
now.
Tony's
But it's
going to be
like-
a wreck.
But it's going to
5
be,
years later and
Yeah.
nothing's happened. Like, oh, he's going to
Yeah.
be a mess.
Yeah. So I think what's happened is that they've just at that point all accepted that what happened, and that the threat is gone now because Thanos hasn't come back. And it's just kind of like we now just have to live
In
with
this
this.
50% off
And-
world.
And now I feel guilty because I wasn't the one of the 50%.
Yep.
It's like, oh, it's going to be
He
cray.
never made his peace with Cap. Like,
Yeah. And
he
then
got
that's
Spider-Man killed.
yeah. Ant-Man's still floating around in the Phantom, not the Phantom Zone. What the fuck?
Quantum Realm.
Quantum Realm. Thank you.
He's going back to the
Uh,
past. He's going to be
yeah.
on a time traveling adventure.
Well, somebody's going to time travel. I think it's his
it's
daughter
going to be, whoever the fuck.
because they've aged up his daughter considerably for the next movie.
Oh yeah, she's now
And
5, like
so-
in a soap opera.
Yeah.
She's born, and then 5 episodes later, she's
Yeah.
30.
So they did that in Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Where it was
Like,
like,
what the fuck? Like,
they even made the joke that the year that they aged up the kid from baby to like 8-year-old, where they make the joke. He's like, "Who's playing the mom this year?" And then he comes in, he goes, "It's the same mom." And they look at him, they're like, "What the fuck?"
oh, here she's trying to say it.
She's very pretty. In this,
Kiss her
her.
with your dirty old,
Grab the jade egg out of her
dirty
asshole.
old mustache and beard combo here.
Yeah.
Oh,
So good. Oh, she doesn't look like she's ever kissed somebody in that scene though, where she's like,
oh God, he just blew it.
yeah. He pressed his boner into her.
Shaken, not stirred.
You want to rub fronts?
Like 3 olives.
See, I like little scenes like that are just great, right? It's just
Even though he's a cad. Chicks like that, though. He gets ladies. He's like, he must be good in bed.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, here she comes.
Yeah. She is she still looks like this today.
Yes, she does.
Actually, so like really looking at him, so does Robert Downey Jr. I think all the hard living just kind of like plateaued him at one spot, and he just kind of
He's
stayed
like
there for the
he's
next
like
10 years.
Keith Richards.
Yeah, exactly.
Or that pirate guy.
Pirate.
That looks just like him.
The one in Pirates of the Caribbean
Yeah, that's
that
the
was
guy.
him.
Yeah, that guy.
Mhm. He is the keeper of the law.
Oh fuck! I'm
the keeper of the
pregnant with
code.
your baby, and you're running off in Afghanistan.
Did you not do
Making
the
other babies.
Did you not do the retina abortion thing?
Oh, look!
I tell you though, I would give anything for his blackout curtain lights that he has that had like.
That's the one thing, right? Not the cars, not the anything. The blackout lights.
I tell you, like I need it to be so dark when I sleep. If I got blackout curtains, if they're open just a little bit and a sliver of light gets through, it's like you've just shone a spotlight in my face. That's what it feels like, and I'm just like, and I'm wide awake instantly.
If I was Tony Stark and I had this nanobite technology,
Yeah.
I would make nanobite underwear so you could piss or shit or jizz yourself,
Yeah.
and these little guys will munch it up and then fly off of you and dispose of it properly and safely.
All my clothes would be that, and
Yeah.
then I would never have to use a zipper or anything if I have to pee.
You never have to go to the
I just have
bathroom?
no, yeah, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking of still peeing and pooping the proper way. But then the nanobites just move out of the way, and then my dick comes out and I pee, or I sit down and the nanobites move out of the way, and so my butt's still like protected by my nano clothes, so I'm not getting anything on me from the toilet seat, but I
My
can still
toilet
eliminate
seat.
waste.
Oh, so the nanobites, like, yeah, so it's just like a little hole in your pants.
Yeah, it just
like
goes
a trap
like,
door.
Yeah, it just goes like
only over the hole, yeah.
Well, a little bit more than the
so
whole.
your
Yeah,
butt is, you don't want to shit all over the nanobites.
but I mean, like,
they could clean
I would
themselves.
definitely be able to go to the bathroom in public a little bit easier.
I would have. I don't even give a fuck anymore, man.
I can't do it.
I use my face to clean it off now. I don't even fucking care. I literally do. Like, sometimes I go in the bathroom and I have to do like a swipe
Yeah,
with some toilet paper to like clean anything off.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll be like, oh, there's like clearly a pube, and it's not mine. This is a public bathroom.
Yeah.
It's probably here 6 months ago. It might be mine. They don't look like they're cleaning it.
yeah.
But anyways, I will literally just knock the pube right up, boop, and I don't even fucking think twice, man, anymore. I don't even care.
I sat in an old man's warm piss, and all I
Oh,
can think
Lord.
about, like, it was an old security guard.
How did you know whose piss it was? You
literally
tasted it?
No, he literally came out of the bathroom as I was going in, and it was a private bathroom. It was just like a one thing, and I went in, and the seat was down, and I sat down and just splash. On my
Oh,
ass.
God.
I chopped off my asshole, and like, no, it's so.
I would have been out of that toilet pants down, and I would have rocked that guy. I would have
Yeah.
been, this is what happens. And it was stuffed his face into my piss crack.
Yeah. Something that really continues. I know this is, we're just completely abandoning this when I start talking about it, but something that
Oh, here it comes.
really continues for him, like the theme that continues for him is like this trauma, and I think that we're really getting that, and like you get a lot of that in Infinity War, where he finds out that like Avengers, which was the thing that like traumatized him the most, it was Thanos. Like,
Yeah.
Thanos started all this, and now here
Yep.
he is, and now he's taken it. Like, it's like, so to watch his journey.
Oh, and he almost
of-
died. That was all
Yeah.
Thanos sent those guys.
Yeah. So like,
With Loki.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
he let Loki borrow those dudes or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Chitauri.
The Chitauri. So like it's all been him. It's like you find out in a lot of these series of movies where you find out it's one guy at the head of it all along type thing. I hate
He's the Mordecai.
yeah. I hate seeing the green screen things
Yeah.
like that when you see he's
Be
wearing
like,
nothing.
there. That was pretty.
Yeah.
Meh.
No, but it's when it's
Oh,
that
fuck.
thing
Yeah,
of
they're using his bombs.
yeah. But I'm just thinking that thing where you when you just see the behind the scenes and you realize he's not wearing like even part of a suit. He's just got like green dots all over his face or whatever, white dots.
Was that Andy Serkis?
Probably.
I don't believe anybody in
Everybody's
green
Andy
screen unless
Serkis.
it's Andy Serkis.
I'm starting to think that every movie that was made after 2003 is a completely CG'd movie. That's how good CG is now. and you get and then somebody does bad CG just to throw you off every now and again.
Just so right, exactly.
So, but like,
and all the characters are played by Andy Serkis.
But like literally every movie has been shot in the same room for the past like 14 years.
I want them to do another Tintin. Man, I love that movie.
They are doing another Tintin.
Yeah, I know. That's what I heard. I said eventually they're going to fucking do it.
Yeah.
Once Peter Jackson's got to come out with this big old Rolling City movie.
Yeah, no.
Which looks just like those things in Avatar that rolled around everything.
Oh, you gotta.
City of... Whoa!
Yeah.
Kid tossing is big there.
Yeah, yeah. This is
midgets, the midgets, the little people complain, and now they toss kids.
This is why you shoot on location,
shit.
though, because there's some places that have laws that are fine to
fuck.
toss a child actor. Can't do that here. This is severe.
Turn your head. Don't look at me. Look at your kid. Don't look at me. Look at your kid.
Yeah, tell him everything. This is
Oh, fuck yeah.
The superhero landing.
Boom.
His is different because he didn't land with the single hit.
Whoa, Dad. Dad.
I try to imagine.
He made it.
Yeah. I try to imagine what the force would feel like. Imagine like getting an uppercut that sent you flying like 18 feet in the air and 25 feet outward.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
and
but
broke
I guess
the wall. Oh, here we go.
this is a great moment.
Skittles.
Yeah. And this is why Iron Man could beat Batman in a fight.
No way.
Yeah.
Batman would have his Batman Superman fighting suit.
Big deal. Iron Man could literally he has like other Iron Man suits shot down from space. Like his Hulkbuster would be no problem for he could use it to just squish.
Batman is on a team with Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Cyborg, and they are all scared of him.
Yeah. Well, they're scared of him.
Yeah, I don't believe for a million years that Iron Man could take Batman.
No, I think he could. Because it's
Ben
all
Affleck
about
Batman.
Yeah. It's all about the suit. Though it's like
whoa,
that was great. But the for me, it's all about the suit. He is designing for he designed a suit that could match with the Hulk.
I did dig
Hulk,
that though, man. And Hulk's ripping pieces off, and other pieces are flying in and landing back on. And I was like, oh, it's wicked.
Yeah, like no version of Batman has had.
I don't like the thing that gets me.
adaptability.
Oh yeah, there you go. The old turn around, walk away, fucking shot. A lot of people seem to they see what's funny is a lot of people have beaten the Hulk.
Yeah,
in these movies. Thor looked like he was pretty much on the verge of beating him in Ragnarok. Thanos whipped his ass.
Yeah.
Hulkbuster armor beat him.
Yeah. Well, the Hulkbuster
Only for
armor.
a matter of time, though.
Yeah. But the Hulkbuster armor was also kind of like cheat coding, right? Because again, he was constantly getting
more and more
stuff,
added on. Yeah.
So it's you ripped me
whatever.
Apart. If it was just Hulkbuster armor with no new pieces, he would have been ripped apart in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
But that's again another Tony Stark difference. He's thinking about what he needs to beat the person.
That's it.
So that's why and that's what I'm saying.
He
why
could
he
afford
beats
kryptonite.
And that's why I'm saying he beats Batman. But I'm not saying Avengers versus DC or Avengers versus Super Friends. That's what I'm gonna call them from now on. Fuck it.
Super Friends.
But just Tony Stark Iron Man versus Bruce Wayne Batman. And it's just so I think that yeah,
Batman's got some shit up his sleeve too, though.
he does. But I'm not saying it would be a blowout. But I'm saying that the one guy who's thinking of way more way more eventualities.
Make a call.
Yeah.
It's to his wife.
Because
it's not to where they think it is.
Mm-hmm. Because the other thing too is while Batman is a smart guy, rich guy, whatever, he is a full on real genius. Oh. This is another really good moment with him in the sky too. When the planes are coming, he's like, no, it's me.
Yeah, what a coinky dinky.
Yeah. I love that.
Oh, God forbid somebody does the job better than you guys do.
His mustache bothers me.
He's always got that fucking thing too.
I feel like that's contract. They're like, we need you to get rid of this mustache or grow a beard, and he's like, no, that's not. That's probably what happened in this movie. In the next, Iron Man 2. They're like, yeah, we're gonna shave your mustache off for this one, and because we need to for the motion capture and stuff. And he's like, no, not happening. It ain't that kind of party. So they're like,
oh, he's got Whiplash. He's calling him Whiplash.
Yes.
Oh fuck!
I forgot about that. Actually.
Iron Man versus the good guys.
Man,
you can't kill them though.
Is the Concorde still
I don't know.
an airline?
I don't know, actually.
'Cause
I
I just
heard
saw
that they were
this-
getting old.
Yeah, because I just heard about the supersonic, and I'm like, yeah, they fly. I wonder what that feels like as a passenger plane, though. Hey, like, does that affect you when you're sitting in a passenger plane and you're going faster than the speed of sound?
Of course.
Like, I don't know. I just picture, because it's not like you're wearing a flight suit. Like, you're just sitting there like you're on fucking Southwest watching some bullshit. Like,
Watching Iron Man 2.
Real Housewives of the Serengeti or
Ooh,
whatever nonsense.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
They don't put up any fucking nonsense, those housewives.
There's a new on-demand streaming app that's just all reality shows.
Oh,
And
God.
then it occurred-
Past, present, now that kind of thing?
That's when it occurred to me. I'm like, oh my God, there are that many reality shows that you can have a Netflix
An
for it.
entire Netflix.
And that doesn't count the ones that Netflix already has.
Holy fuck.
I love this. It is me, and I am in the suit. It's me. This is...
Yeah, it's me, buddy. I was lying to you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you know what I found the other day?
up?
I was always watching Paranormal Survivor, which was like old, it was on Netflix, but it wasn't theirs.
Oh, yeah.
And now it must be recently.
Yeah.
There's oh my God, just like Robert De Niro underneath that car in Cape Fear.
Yeah.
And they have a new one, which is like the same kind of thing, only it's called Haunted. And it's like people's true stories with the reenactments, which I love.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to get in on that. Not tonight, though.
Not tonight. I do not have time for this shit.
Fucking A.
I've been...
Oh, shit. You better save this guy.
I just keep watching Nailed It.
Nailed it. That looks good.
Yeah. I like this, though, that he has a moment,
fuck.
because this is the hard thing that you have in movies like this, where you're like, I have to take on the good guys, right?
Yep.
And
but
then
you
he's
can't
like-
kill them.
Yeah. The whole point. This is what they call a save the cat moment.
Oh, is this a thing?
Yeah, it's some writer, I cannot remember his name for the life of me. He wrote a book called Save the Cat, and the big thing is you've got a good guy in your script. You have to show him doing something good to establish him as a good guy.
Right.
He can't just all of a sudden, you can't just say, oh, that guy over there, that's the good guy. No, he's got to get the cat out of the tree or give a homeless guy a couple
something,
bucks.
right.
Or he,
Give him a couple bucks.
but whatever it is, right? And you're like, oh, that person's
Couple bucks. That fucking homeless piece of shit
Because-
doesn't deserve 5 cents from me.
Yeah, it's one of those things in scripts that sounds, or it's more organic this way, because if you're sitting there going out of your way to tell him like that's the good guy, people subconsciously are like this isn't how that happens. You need to decide for yourself
Right.
that this person is a good person, right? So
And but obviously, what's just funny because decide for yourself, even though there's hand feeding you the.
yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
But they're
I've
giving,
decided.
yeah, they're giving you a moment
Don't
to
tell
witness.
me whether he is or not.
Exactly.
Show me.
Show me the goodness.
Show me the good. What the, oh. So what
It
the
just
fuck
looked
just
like it went
happened
to
there? Yeah, what
commercials.
the hell?
We're watching a Blu-ray. I don't understand. This is actually an interesting one, because
I was
usually,
like covering up for him.
because a lot of the times we have to do sometimes like off of a Blu-ray or sometimes a DVD or sometimes Netflix or sometimes whatever. This is the first time when I have every single one of the all of the MCU movies on Blu-ray. We will watch every one of these from my own collection
Boom.
instead of borrowing.
He did
and
not
grabbing.
look like he was enjoying the story,
No, I don't think he was.
Mr. the Dude.
I love this.
Taking the suit off.
This is a scene that definitely doesn't hold up very well
No.
in CG, but it's
because
all right.
he's in it.
yes,
Like his head.
yeah, that's true too.
It's because his head's in it. If it was just a suit.
See, this one's better. It was seeing all of the full arms. Like, that looks bad, but up close it looked better.
Well, watch when it shows Pepper and his hand is kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's okay.
That one looks fine.
Are those bullet holes? RV bullet holes.
That would have been the best if he was just like, this is what you think it is. It's just a sex thing.
Yeah.
She would have believed him.
Yeah,
and just turned around
exactly.
and left.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, this is up your
there.
alley.
Put it right up your
See, this-
fucking alley.
See, so this is
Oh.
and this is how you can tell.
whoa.
This is how you can tell they intended on this being a Mandarin thing, because this is the 10 rings and then he shows up. This is when you would have seen the Mandarin for the first time or whatever.
Nope. Staying way far away from this one.
Man.
Ooh.
It's a good that was a good twist. That was one I didn't see coming, even though I probably should have.
You know what? The only thing that gives you that is that shot just before it, where he doesn't look happy about it, and then
Yeah.
they give you right here. They don't give you enough time to
But-
come up with it yourself. I like that.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also like that thing where you're like, I just told Tony to calm down, and now he's doing shit. Like, or
Right.
I've
See, there's
concluded
still there could still.
yeah, there's your 10
there's
rings.
the rings.
Yeah.
There's the old one.
Yeah,
They always find the shit, man. That's why you got to get rid of the technology.
yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's an interesting thing in a lot of these movies, especially like the Iron Man movies, especially, is there's a lot of reverse engineering going on. It's nobody's smart enough to do what Tony did. They have to take what Tony did and then figure. And then
Well, that's
work
like
backwards.
war, though. That's real. Like they
Oh.
find some bomb that they bomb it with, and then they check it out, and then they've got that bomb now, or a
Absolutely.
reasonable, facsimile.
Absolutely.
This
but
one's
it's
got
like
a big old gun. This one's let itself go.
Yeah,
like,
'cause
look,
Iron Man 2 shows.
you
a
put your
lot-
fist in that hole for Christ's
Yeah.
sakes.
He's like, ugh. He's just like sexually fingering it over and over again. But it's one of those things, because in Iron Man 2 they show a lot.
Now drink my urine, and we will have a deal.
He's like, and I drink yours. Oh, this is
Oh fuck!
that's a gross thing.
Whoa!
Oh, that's a terrifying. I don't even know what that's doing. So that's
I was doing something to him.
Is that-
Like
is
him
that the
in
original-
varicose veins of the face?
Yeah, is that the original eye zapper thing from Men in Black? So like Men in Black takes place further in the future. It is like,
Oh God!
that's horrible. Oh, I forgot about that too, because he does that to Tony later.
That's the least of your problems.
That's so gross. But
Is his head gonna blow up eventually or something?
no, he's
Like the scanners were getting to
It
him.
just paralyzed him, and now he's walking away.
Oh jeez, they're
Ugh.
testing their weapons out near those guys on their knees.
And then now you're getting the whole badness.
Oh
Like
shit,
he's like,
shaboodle here.
he's like, you just found out he's a bad guy. He's like, now I'm gonna give you go full throttle on how bad I am. Kill all of them. Kicks a child over.
I'm going all in.
Bites the head off a
Kill.
chicken.
No, he kills a kid
Yeah.
with a baby animal.
Yeah. Eats at what's the Chick-fil-A.
Oh
I was
God!
gonna say, what's the-
Chick-fil-A?
What's the homophobic chicken?
You know, killing
place?
the kid was okay, but Chick-fil-A? No, that's a dastardly move.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh,
I like-
Here we go.
It's funny. I had that instant reaction one time. I heard somebody, they're like, "Oh, I like going when I go to this place in the States. I eat at Chick-fil-A." I'm like, Chick-fil-A.
I never even
like,
heard of Chick-fil-A until
It's-
recently.
Yeah, I was
It
like,
was like a
Ch-
Filipino place.
No, it's at it's a big U.S.
Chain.
chain. Yeah, but I was just like instantly. My first reaction was like, they give money to like anti-gay things.
Oh, who doesn't?
Everybody's anti-gay, even
Especially the gays.
we're all self-hating. Yeah,
Aren't we all, though? Come on.
I
Of course
understand-
we are.
I understand what we're expected to do, but it still hurts.
Whoa, Pepper Potts just quit.
Yep. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh, shit.
You stood by my side all these years. Yeah, you weren't a weapon back then.
Yeah. He's got a good point there, lady.
Yeah.
You knew I was evil from day one. I can't do this shit, Tony. This is some goodness.
That was the most elf-like she looked. Like I could see her in Lord of the Rings based on that shot.
Oh, yeah.
So the flowing hair and the ears coming out just make them pointy,
Yep. Built a
Yeah.
suit I can take a crap in.
I love like
What does it do when he has to go to the bathroom? You know, it probably just like you said, it probably opens up. He just shoots one out.
He mentions that in Iron Man 2, actually. I know he didn't talk about taking a dump, but he's talking about peeing in the suit. And then because she's like, yeah, you just peed your suit. He's like, there's a filtration system. You could drink this water. So like he does make mention to it, like, which makes sense because I guess even when he's flying supersonic, it would still take him hours to get from California to the Middle East.
Yes.
Right. So I don't know.
Maybe it goes faster than that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how fast he goes. But he just says supersonic.
Problems are coming right here, man.
Yeah. Just says supersonic. So as far as I know, that's Mach 1.1. It could be Mach 5, and he could be going.
Huh. Is that what you've
Mach 1
Looks
is
like she's up to some jinky shit here, man.
You got it. Mach 1 is the speed of sound. Anything faster is faster.
It sure is.
That's just the end of it.
Yeah. That's the long and short of it, I guess, huh?
Yeah. It's a weird USB key. They should have had a funny USB key, like an R2D2 or something like that. I bet you if Disney owned them by then, they would have done
It
that.
would have totally a Yoda face or something.
Like that way, because that's just funny. He's like, Mr. High Tech. This is what he uses.
Should have been a floppy. Yeah.
Does anybody? Does anybody
Whoa,
not know what a
whoa.
floppy disk is out there? Like, and I'm not talking about like the 3.5-inch floppies, which were hard. I'm talking the 7-inch floppies, which were actually floppy.
Yeah, like holy fuck. Yeah,
Those
that shit
things were
works.
bananas. You could run.
Oh, she just accidentally found.
Uh,
Why does he have all these videos?
because he jerks off to them.
Yep. Why does he have these?
Translate. I like that.
Oh wow.
You
Ooh.
can see Obadiah standing. The price to kill Tony Stark
Oh
has
yeah,
just
just
gone
say
up.
all that because
Oh,
nobody could have ever deciphered that language
That's funny.
on the other side.
That's
oh
funny.
fuck!
I've never even thought about that. To
like
be
what
honest
the
with
fuck?
you.
Like
That's really funny because that was
yeah,
the video.
and I
that
made
went
a
out.
language up. Mm-hmm.
Good God.
That's what they're speaking to
I'm-
me there.
I
Drink?
don't think I heard him say the price to kill Tony Stark went up when I watched this the last time, though. I think that I was just thinking that was the video that they sent out to everybody.
Right.
So I don't think I was paying enough attention to it as too worried about what's the alcohol. in his
drinking
bottle.
his booze. You're about to finger his old lady. Like my god.
He starts fingering that hole too. That's just his whole thing. He's
That's-
just
yeah.
fingering holes.
He's worse than C.J. Lewis. Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. There you go.
Did you see that Sarah Silverman thing where she was like, "Oh yeah, I used to watch him jerk off all the time."
Oh, I didn't see
Sarah
that.
Silverman said it. Yeah.
No.
She's like, he would ask. Sometimes I'd say yes. Sometimes I'd say no.
She
She's a beast, though.
is. Yeah.
I do not like her. She's very beautiful, but I find her to be so. I think she seems like she's such a fucking bitch.
See, I don't know. It's like, she's just so straightforward that I think that comes off that way. Like, she will tell you no matter what is what's going on.
Right. Well, no, what she said in Ellen the other day, I was like, oh my god. Ellen was asking her like, "Oh, you said before that you could never go out with another comedian," and she was like, "Why? Is it like a competition? A competition thing?" She was like, "No." She's like, "It's not a competition." She's like, "I'm Sarah Silverman."
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm funnier than them because I'm Sarah Silverman.
Yeah.
So, and then
I
the
think that
crowd
was-
kind of was like, "Woo!" And she was like, "It was a joke."
Yeah, I think that was just literally her just trying to be funny because she has dated.
Well, no,
comics
that's what
in the
she
past.
said. That's what
Yeah.
she was. She said she was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I was trying to be funny there." And she's
Yeah, I
like,
know.
"Where were you guys?" Kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Because
Have you seen that one where she's naked with Michelle Williams in the shower?
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's what's the name? It's the Seth Rogen movie.
It is?
No, maybe.
No, I don't think it's one of those. I never heard of it before.
Oh,
Oh, she thought she was going to leave.
because they're both in the Seth Rogen movie together. And they play.
The porno one?
No, not.
The comedian one?
No, it's the one where it's Seth Rogen and Michelle Williams are like dating, and then she ends up leaving him for like some other dude. And
Is it like a dramedy or something?
yeah, it is. And then Sarah Silverman is like an alcoholic and all kinds of
It's
stuff.
like
happens.
is it a documentary?
No,
Oh.
it is not a documentary.
Who was downloading all my porn? Shit.
The last thing that most people want in the world is for people to find out what they're into.
What?
It's like the last thing that most people want is for other people to find out what they're into.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like
like
it's like no judgment, but I'm way into granny porn. Good Lord.
Oh yeah.
I like Pepper Potts thinking on her feet there. Hey, shield agent, take
I
me
like
away.
the fact that this facility he couldn't have been like stop Pepper Potts. Oh, I guess he hasn't
Yeah.
taken it over yet.
Yeah. He's not the boss yet.
Not
and he's
yet.
not-
Watch this. He's gonna slam his balls.
Oh,
head
actually,
right
no,
into the
he is
button
the boss.
machine here.
At this point, he's forced him out.
Oh, because that's right. They forced her
Yes.
out.
Yeah.
So he could have been like, stop Pepper Potts. She's stolen information. She's with Tony there, blah, blah.
But at least now he had a shield agent dealing with him. See, and this is a thing I like with Stark too. It's like you've got all these geniuses, and they're like, I don't know how to do what
Yeah.
he does. And he's like, but
He's
he
the
did it-
brain.
Like you said, he built this in a cave, and you guys can't do it.
Out of old sticks
Yeah,
and loose skin.
amazing. Like it's like
Oh,
way
he's got
better
some time.
MacGyver.
Got
Look
some
at how
time to
old
go
school
there.
that phone.
I know.
is. Like that's
Well, out of all the technology, oh, shit.
yeah, that's good.
What the fuck?
That looks
What
like
the
they just
fuck
got his
is
wax
that
figure.
thing?
It's just it's a paralyzer. It's
Madame
just-
Tussauds.
Yeah. He has. Oh, if you get the opportunity, go to Clifton Hill and go to their movie wax museum thing. They have a quite terrible Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I
there.
think they get like all the defunks or something. Like the guy who was like training to be the good one that they put in the British one.
Well, there's
Like, oh my god, the Ace Ventura. It's like terrifying.
But there's a difference. If you go to Louis Tussauds in Niagara Falls, it's not bad. It's not as good as like the Madame Tussauds in LA or in England. But if you go, there's that one. It's called like I don't even. It's just called like the movie or the Hollywood Wax Museum.
Yes.
Or whatever on the hill. That
Hollywood Wax Museum Hall of Fame. It's terrifying.
Like there's ones you look at and you're like, which person? Who is
Like,
that
who
supposed
the
to
fuck
be?
is this?
Like there's one girl and she's surrounded by balloons and shit, and you're like, what is this? And then you realize, oh, it's supposed to be Katy Perry, and you're like, I wouldn't have guessed that in a million years. Conan does a good bit you can find online where he goes to a sale, like some wax museum was out of business and they were selling all their wax figures, and he went and he bought a bunch of them, and they're unrecognizable.
Oh yeah, doesn't he pick like one?
He bought the Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then there was a wax museum of presidents that John Oliver and Stephen Colbert both bought.
Oh, that's what it
of.
was, right? I wonder how much one of those cost. Those pieces of crap.
They spent a lot of money,
That's ridiculous.
but it was and it was really for a joke, and then only to find out that they were like the reason the bidding got so high was because they were bidding against another comedy show also trying to do the same joke.
That's hilarious.
Ugh.
And it was Colbert versus Conan.
No, Colbert
bidding.
versus John Oliver.
Ah,
And then they ended up getting them to get they John Oliver bought like 3 of them, and then they made like a presidential movie that like featured like those guys. They're like, it was like Laura Linney's like, I can't believe you did this, and it cuts and it's just like the frozen statue. And then when John Oliver went on Colbert, he brought one of his statues, and they had like this weird statue off between their guys.
a statue off.
Such a good show. I haven't seen that in a while, actually. I got rid of my HBO. I'm gonna have to.
Got rid of your HBO.
Well,
We got Netflix. What do you need? Come on.
Well, I only keep HBO around when Game of Thrones is on, and then when it's off, I realize I'm paying so much money just to watch John Oliver.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll find John Oliver another way. Sorry, HBO, and I'll just have to deal with that for now on. But I'm not paying this much a month to watch a half-hour show once a week for 8 weeks in a row.
Probably find it on the old net.
You can find it.
Oh, there's Coulson living large.
He's so good, and it's just like so background. It's only because we know what we know.
Yep.
That it's like,
We
oh man,
know
it's
a
so
lot.
crazy that he's there. Wow.
Well, Buddy said it was. Oh, is he doing this right now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's up and around here. Because he said to Buddy, he was like, it's going to get even worse in 15 minutes.
Yes.
So Stark is clearly trying to make it here, unless they fucked up continuity wise.
No.
Like,
He's been, well, because they said that like the 15 minutes, it takes, he's paralyzed, so he couldn't feel anything for 15 minutes. But then he's now starting to feel the pain of the thing in his heart.
right.
Right. So,
Oh, and there's one right there.
yeah. That was actually pretty good. Like, I like when that kind of foreshadowing and stuff that I didn't like pick up on right away.
Right. Yeah. It's smart actually.
And I mean, like, some people go, oh, I saw that coming a mile away. And that's great for you, but I'm happy that it surprised me.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because then
it's
it's a nice moment. I like this too.
Yeah.
Thanks. See, it's got a
Yeah.
face.
He's like, hey, buddy.
See,
I think it winked at him.
He was the first. He's Johnny
Good
One.
boy. He had the strength to do that though. In a minute, he's just passing out into the death land there for a minute. Yeah. Got a second wind wrestling style. I understand it.
So this Stan Winston made a giant animatronic Ironmonger here that was like 800 pounds and it was 10 feet tall and the whole deal. But they almost never use it.
This is
It's
probably the
mostly
only time you
just
see it.
It's mostly
Well, it's just cool to have it there, right? Like the giant Hulk
yeah.
that they have at the comic book store.
That is
Fucking thing
cool.
is huge.
That is cool. How neat would that be though to be an actor and walk on a set and see something like that? Like that's got to put you in the right mind frame.
Yes, it
immediately.
does.
That's one thing. That's the one thing that green screen takes away from
Yes.
you, and like all the CG and stuff. It's like to physically have the thing in your hand and go, "Holy crap!" Right? Like
That's why, like, you got to do it Lord of the Rings style,
yeah,
where like he made models and
yeah.
just really fleshed everything out
And
so
took it-
hugely.
And took everybody to see everything. Like, you're gonna go see the model of this thing. So when then we say you're looking at this tower, you'll
This
know
is what you're looking at. Yeah.
You don't have to imagine it. Like, that was one thing they had. There's an old Sean Astin thing where, because when he's fighting Shelob, he's like, he had one moment because he went back for reshoots or whatever, and he's like, I can't see the spider anymore. And it was like, that moment was lost for him because it was all described to him and stuff. When he shot it the first time, and he's like, I was having a hard time because I couldn't be as scared as I was because I wasn't imagining something anymore. It was like, I just swinging my sword at nothing.
Right. So what did they do?
What
Did they bring him Shelob?
Yeah, I think they brought it. I think he said they brought in some like designs or something like that for him to look at. Yeah. Or they just like made a. This is great. Again, another little shield moment.
Yeah, pick the lock.
He does a little. His move here is great. Just a little cross over the arms.
Oh, they're coming for you, Betty. You better get in that big fucking thing.
It's so.
Look at the cock piece on that.
Like, I'm just trying to when I watch this movie too, I'm watching and putting together the rest of the MCU as it like happens afterwards, and you're like, holy crap, because then you've got Incredible Hulk, which we're not doing. Like, say what you want about this, we're keeping Incredible Hulk out of it for
outrage.
Yeah,
Did
for
you
one
just hear
main-
outside
yeah.
rioting just happened?
The main reason is because Mark Ruffalo isn't the Hulk in it. And
It doesn't
like,
even need to be in there.
and nothing really.
It has nothing to do with the timeline or the
Yeah.
whole thing.
But there's no shield involved. Like,
Oh.
there's nothing. The only thing that has anything to do with it being in the Marvel universe.
Ooh, just see it next time.
Yeah, I know. The only thing that has anything to do with the Marvel universe, though, is that William Hurt plays General Ross,
Right.
and that Tony Stark appears at the end.
Right.
And then they also did the. I think they said you could see like the Tesseract or something like that in the ice.
Is that the Edward Norton one?
Yeah.
Ugh.
But I can't deal with Tim Roth.
Oh, I just can't deal with the whole movie. It's terrible. It is cool seeing Young Street at the end. They'll get fucked up.
Might as well.
Do you know that Toronto right now has more murders than New York City?
I did hear.
It has
about
more
that.
murders than ever.
Yeah,
It surpassed 91.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a bad year.
Yes, it fucking
here.
has. Gonna stop all this fussing and fighting people.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Let the MCU bring us together.
Or how about we go to a world where we don't have to wait for laws to tell us to put the guns down and just put the guns down.
Fucking A.
I've never needed a law. Like, the law isn't what's keeping me from picking up a gun.
Fear.
Because I can go I can go buy a gun.
I thought about getting my gun license just so I could go to a shooting range and shoot. Although I'm,
Not
God.
interested.
I know, see the thing too, and then I'm like, I'm sort of totally against guns.
Yeah. Like, for
Like,
how
totally.
much? Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Like, that is scary. This reminds me actually of Incredible Hulk, though. There's a
Yes,
very
it
similar
does.
scene
Yep.
in that.
Well, when he's running after Black Widow, too.
Oh, yeah. That's actually
Like,
more
totally,
over
yeah.
it. Yeah. That's really good.
So 2 hours in the booth, baby. Got you fucking set.
Good God. And he sounds perfect. Like,
He
just-
does sound
'cause-
perfect, actually.
Because it sounds artificial because it's British.
They did
I
a
don't
great
know.
job with their casting.
Yeah, and they
And
always
all of
do.
them. There's not one person I was like, I don't really like this casting.
No, and they always do. Like, it was like the Ed
Even
Norton
Spider-Man,
thing.
as much as I find him annoying.
Tom Holland is great.
Yeah, he
the
is.
younger Spider-Man was the way they needed
Yeah,
to go.
yes.
Because they kept aging him up. Like, fucking Tobey Maguire is like 50 years old by Spider-Man. Like, he's...
Whoa. He also reminds me of Buddy from RoboCop 2.
Ed 209?
Yeah, no.
Oh, no. The
Buddy with
yeah.
the brain in him.
Oh, yes.
Boom.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. God, RoboCop 2 is a fucking terrible movie.
No way. RoboCop 2 is wicked.
Oh, I can't.
Oh, is that what's her name?
Which?
The lady he banged before with her kids?
No, I don't think so.
Nope. Just some blonde lady. Just some
Definitively
soccer
not.
mom getting the ride of her life.
That would be, imagine seeing, like, I'm picturing, because we know that it's inevitable that a Marvel land will appear in Disney in the next.
Well, it's got to
10
leave
years. It's got to leave, yeah,
Universal.
whatever their contract is for,
Whoa.
yeah, whatever their contract is for Universal and Marvel, as soon as that's done, you'll find out they'll probably already have been underway in the planning.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So like,
Oh shit.
but imagine seeing like
Lady.
a giant animatronic ironmonger that was like moving around and something like,
Oof.
like I would have one ride I would do. It would it sounds boring, but it would actually probably be pretty cool. Is like, like that like Carousel of Tomorrow ride at Disney.
Yes.
Well, imagine doing that, but doing it with Iron Man tech.
Sweet.
Where like it's Tony Stark takes you through like the beginnings of Iron Man, and he's like, oh yeah, and this guy had a suit and stuff like that.
Oh, stomp him. It kind of looks like the Iron Giant too.
Yeah.
Stomp his guts out.
Don't stomp his guts out.
Tony did nothing. You did it all.
Yeah, we need it.
Whoa.
We need him.
Yeah, they really fucking built this one up pretty monster, eh? Holy jeez, where'd that come from?
I know. But and it's cool.
Whoa.
And it's cool again, like, because he is the only guy in the universe with no superpowers and stuff. And I mean, Batman's the same way too. He's the smartest guy in the room, and he's all that kind of thing. But like that's
Oh shit.
But that's always his
Dear
thing.
God.
But it's always his thing that he has over the other people. Like even Iron Man 3, when he doesn't have the suit, he's like, well, I've got to figure something else out. And he makes a bunch of little gadgets when he goes and he fights all those people. And like, it's awesome that he does that.
There's no way the maneuverability on this beast must be horrible.
Yes.
Oh, he's gonna do the old freezing.
Yeah, this is a great moment too.
He's
like,
always
I'm gonna make
going
him
way
make
up.
My mistake.
Remember in the Avengers, he goes way up and drops the bomb off and almost sacrifices himself.
Well, he goes into space in that one. Not just up. He goes out. It's different.
He gets even higher. This is
Can
like
you
his move.
That'd be the best. Do this in slow mo. Can you take me higher?
Not as high
Jesus-
as that friggin' guy.
Jesus drinks my alcohol.
Jesus drinks his blood.
I was watching a video.
Scott Stapp, the real Jesus.
It was a video of some street guy singing "I Don't Want to Miss a Thing," and then like Steven Tyler shows up.
Yeah,
and starts
it's in
singing with
Russia
him.
actually or something
Oh,
too,
is
which
it?
is even weirder.
Yeah,
like,
he just shows up places.
Yeah.
But the best part was that he's not singing the lyrics correctly, because he comes in, he goes, "I don't want to miss a thing," or no, he goes, "I don't want to fall asleep. I don't want," and he says something else. I'm like, you don't know the lyrics to this song. I was like, the other guy was gonna get them right. Why don't you let him finish it?
Oh yeah.
Ah.
The old icing problem.
The icing problem. That's a big.
Not a
problem
bad
in
little
hockey.
rumble for the first Marvel movie.
Yeah, well, we're not done yet. He's not dead.
Oh, they're gonna fight.
And I like this thing too. Again, it's just, hey, your thing doesn't work that great. Oh. There's.
Yeah, you hear that fart?
Did you?
Yeah. What happens when Tony farts in the suit? It helps it repower.
That would be amazing. I just wanted to hear a couple sounds. Just make them very small in
Oh
background.
shit.
But like those machine sounds from like the Looney Tunes where it's like like just get a couple of those kind of in the background. Right? Something
He's still alive.
Yeah. See, this is a scene because he's got the one hand, doesn't have the thing. I want him to do that like Obi-Wan Kenobi, like where he kicks him and then he's like, ow, like I just hit metal.
Ow.
I wanted him to do that with his like fist.
There you go. Blind his ass. Blind his ass.
That's so good.
Turn him into a Chinese firework factory.
I wonder if they ever made a book like that covers the suit. Like, you get a lot of like behind the scenes books of like Star Wars has them and all these other places, but like you could probably get one that's got a full tech readout of the suit and all the weapons it has and all the things it's capable of doing. It'd be an interesting, like, quick, like, bathroom read of just going through and going, wow,
Oh, like if they actually made like the manual that comes with it.
yeah, like you just go through and it like just like breaks down the layers and it's like, here's the shoulders and there's these missiles and there's this and this is the system that like handles his flight and this is the system that handles this.
Oh, pull the cranks, lady.
Turn the crank.
Oh
and
yeah,
snap
this
the pipe.
is a longer fight than I remember. Actually,
Yeah.
I remember watching this and being disappointed because like the action
Yeah.
quota. Oh, see, this is just like RoboCop 2.
Yeah.
Ripped his brain right out.
This is how you beat all robots. though.
Yeah.
That's
They jump on their back and rip their brain out, rip their spine and brain out, Predator style. Oh shit!
Oh, he was about to break. The
Oh,
glass
there goes his
ceiling.
mask. Oh, he's bad move,
Uh,
Jeff Bridges.
Imagine he just took the shot right there and he's dead in the suit. This is a good. See, that's a good shot to have in a like a sequel where it would have been like a close up of just the Iron Hand squashing the thing, so you didn't know it was Stain. Or... My wife's got a great. I bought her this comic compendium. It's a bunch of comics that tell the entire story from Iron Man leading up to Avengers.
Right.
Yeah, it's really cool though, because like it's all the drawings and everything.
Holy fuck.
I know, that's terrifying. All the drawings and stuff are based on these movies and stuff like that. So it's kind of neat to see it. I want to read it one day.
It's reminds you of Demolition Man.
Reading's dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, reading's for dumb-dumbs.
Things for dumbs. This is why I have movies. Except now I'm having to read it with all
Yeah,
the
I know, right?
subtitles.
With these damn subtitles. He doesn't look too bad in there, like the CG.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm curious how much of it, like I'm assuming the stuff on the very outside, like whatever he's sitting in is probably not CG. Oh no, I guess there's a lot of moving parts in there still, eh? Those all CG. You never know though
Gee,
with
you're
Stan
terrible,
Winston,
Aim.
right? Like Stan Winston's death, I feel like that's why they're respecting Stan Winston enough to just do CG now, because they're like, there's no Stan Winstons anymore.
That's
I
a
can't.
shame.
Yeah.
That is it. When does the new Dark Crystal come out?
I don't know, to be
I
honest.
saw a
with
preview
you.
for it.
It's they're doing Netflix,
Yeah.
and they promised no CG. It's all
Sweet.
It's all puppets. It's all practical.
Is it the Henson Company?
Yeah. To my
Whoa.
knowledge, it's the Henson Company.
What the hell is that? The giant arc reactor?
Yeah. Oh my
Whoa.
God.
Are they opening up the old Rainbow Bridge there?
This is when Zool comes.
Yeah.
So this is
The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
this is happening at the exact same
Whoa.
time. Oh yeah, this is happening at the exact same time as Ghostbusters.
Ooh. Oh, mama. Right in there.
Love it. That is a
Pepper
large.
Potts killed him.
See, and that's the thing too. Like
Ooh.
he has been willing to, like, even in Avengers, like Captain America says, like, you're not willing to make the sacrifice. He was willing to make the sacrifice here. He was just like, blow this building up. You'll die. Don't care. Blow it up.
Blow it up.
Oh.
That's true, actually.
So it's just like he's always making the sacrifice.
I don't like that it's always Iron Man.
But when it
Come
began,
on.
my contention is whoever the first movie was going to be, it was always going to be that person.
Right.
If a Captain America was the first
Right,
movie,
it would have been
always
Captain
be
America, yeah.
Because that's where everything begins and ends. It's like this exists because of this, and so you get to be the player.
Who is the Iron Man?
That's the prequel song that Black Sabbath sang.
Who
is
the...
Iron Man? I would like to know as fast as I can. Sorry.
Hey, no, I like that. You were on your yacht.
I love having that cover. Hey, he's like this. He's your bodyguard. Blah blah blah. He's like, we got everything set up for you. All you have to do is say these words, and nobody will not believe you.
Just read it word for word.
Man, I would love to have that for just anything. It's like you skip out on going somewhere with somebody. It's like, oh, I thought we were supposed to go to dinner this day. Oh yeah, well, and then some like government agent comes in.
Hand you a
and is like,
card.
oh, sorry, but I was dealing with this.
I'm Iron Man. Shit. Why
That
did you hand me this? What the fuck?
That would have been that. Yeah, he has a sitcom bad ability of
Yeah,
keeping secrets.
Yeah.
I'm Iron Man.
Oh, Coulson.
So good. I like the relationship they have in these two. The one thing that really broke my heart is that we never got the moment where Coulson and Robert Downey and Tony Stark see each other after he thinks he's dead.
Right.
Because you find, like, because obviously he's alive and they bring him
Agents of
back.
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They bring him. He does
Maybe
die.
he's going to be in the next one.
I don't know. I hope so. But he does die in Avengers, but then they bring him back just so
Something
anybody hasn't
happened
seen.
to him. Yeah.
They
I remember seeing
use-
the first season and he didn't even know
No.
what happened and
No.
why he came back.
They
and...
use alien DNA, and like he believes at the time that he survived and that he was sent to Tahiti to be in like rehab
Right.
and stuff like that. But what was really happening was they were using alien DNA to rebuild him, and he was in screaming pain. Like when it shows the scenes, it's him screaming, going, "Kill me, kill me!" And they've put into his brain that he's on vacation in Tahiti, so he doesn't feel the pain and all that
Fucking
stuff.
total
right?
recalled his ass.
Yeah, exactly. And then so he's like, I have all these memories that aren't mine. I have DNA that's not mine and all this stuff. It's actually quite a cool little twist. But I'm dying to see the scene scene because he's of everybody, he has the best relationship. Him and Pepper have
Right.
the best relationship with him, and I would have loved a scene in even like in Avengers 2 or in Infinity War or something where you can see them come together and he's like, what the hell, you know, like not so long. I feel like maybe it's even been too long at this point.
No,
that. I
no
don't
way. No fucking way. We all remember the fucking.
He would be a great
Oh,
thing.
there she is.
Yeah, he would be a great factor to help bring him back into, like, imagine he's just at his lowest low and he's like, you're the guy who can actually help figure this out. And,
Maybe
like, get us back.
Coulson's going to be the one to turn it around in 4.
That's what I'm thinking. And I'm like, that would be
Yeah,
so cool.
Coulson like you just said, he's going to be he's going to feel like a bag of shit. And Coulson's going to come and be like, yo,
That would be amazing.
get your shit together. Stop whining. Let's fucking go solve this thing.
And he would have this, like, I've seen a ghost kind of scenario. Now, there's spoilers of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that say whether or not that's possible. But there's also things that we don't know because, like, who knows what the fuck's going to happen in the next
Exactly.
season. So.
Uh-oh.
I love this.
He's going off script.
I just love I just love the idea of the ego of it. I can't possibly say somebody else is this. And that was something that threw me off because I didn't know a lot about
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I'm Iron Man. Fuck it.
Yeah, I didn't know a lot about Peter Billingsley from A Christmas Story is one of the producers on this because everything he does with Vince Vaughn's friends.
Yep.
That's what happens. But I remember watching some like old animated Avengers stuff before any of this stuff came out. Like it was fairly new, like it was early 2000s or whatever. But the what's it called? You're seeing all this stuff and I'm like, why does everybody know that Tony Stark is Iron Man? Like I thought the whole point of superheroes and stuff was that you had like these secret identities and all this kind of thing. And,
Not him.
like everybody, but then you start like breaking it down. You're like, nope, Thor's Thor. Everybody knows Captain America's Steve Rogers. I'm like, I guess this is just a thing. Everybody knows that. Well, everybody
Not
in
Spider-Man.
the know. Yeah, the only people that don't know is Spider-Man, but like pretty much everybody else. Like everybody in the know in the world knows that
Bruce
that
Banner and
Bruce
the Hulk.
Banner's the Hulk. Well,
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
people know about him, right? Because it's not really, it's a military secret, but everybody has, you know, their
Black Widow's
figure
real
of
name.
that.
Do they know that?
Black Widow's real name. Yeah, because she openly says it all the time. Natasha
I'm
Romanoff.
Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff.
Yeah. Ooh, Michael Moore. I see that guy a lot. The director, Michael J. Moore. He's an assistant director. This movie also gave us something that, I mean, it's happened in the past, but this was the beginning of it being used for real purpose. Is the after credits sequence?
Right.
This is the first one. I mean, obviously, you remember the ones like Ferris Bueller and stuff like that, where after the credits it comes off and like sends you home.
Hey,
and
come
stuff
on,
like
go.
that.
It
But
was
this is
over.
the-
Come on.
Yeah, but this is the first one that brings
Women
you,
at the craps table.
Yeah, this like, and again, the doubling down. Because if this did not do well, this after the credits sequence would have been a humiliation.
Yeah.
You know, that would be like a magician completely fucking up his first trick and then going for my next trick. Like
I swear it'll be better. No. Watch this now, but compared to like seeing like the new ones.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, Black Panther's credits were like 40 minutes long.
Yeah. It is
and the text, the names were so tiny you could barely see them.
I know, it was.
I was like, holy fuck, could there be any more names attached to this thing?
It was bananas. And then they're like, oh, here's your special effects people. And you're like, it's hundreds. You're like, oh my God, that's so many. And then they're like, oh, here's your ILM special effects people who deal with this other thing over here.
No, it was like special effects team, like Britain.
Yeah.
Special effects team, Wakanda. Special effects team, underwater scene. And it's just like, holy shit.
Well, and that's the thing. And it's these things, well, two reasons. These things are such undertakings that you've got to have a lot of bodies involved because you got to keep it moving. But also, these guys are are turning these movies over faster than people who don't have any CG and stuff in it. So they're like, Who
does their special effects?
ILM was doing it, but I think they have their own teams as well. But ILM still does a lot of their work.
ILM's always been a player in the game.
Mm-hmm. But, well, I mean, for a long time, they were the only game in town. But if you look at...
Weta.
Yeah. But if you... but between even them and Weta, now if you go to... if you look at the thing, you'll see a lot of different companies do a lot of different shit, and they might hire like some tiny little Canadian company to just handle a couple of scenes.
Yeah,
and they might, you know,
that's neat.
But that's the problem is like you can't in it like even this movie like again special effects technicians you're looking at maybe 50 people. Oh, I just was hearing this knocking, and I was like, oh, it's from the music. I thought somebody was like actually knocking on something. I was freaking out.
2D Animaniacs. Oh, man.
But the physical Iron Man suits and makeup created by the
Stan Winston.
Stanny Winston.
Fucking A,
Rest
man.
in peace.
So that's
Stan.
one.
That's
we do
one.
number one of the gauntlet done. One and done,
20 to
baby.
go.
Fucking right on.
Yeah, we I'm trying to time this so we can watch the after credits sequence and then be done. So while we're doing this, make sure to follow us on Twitter at Miscast
Good
Podcast.
idea.
Follow me at JK Finley, Todd at Miscast Todd. Join our Facebook group. We've been doing the viewing parties. Got a lot of stuff going on in there, so make sure you get in. Our Facebook page will point you to the Facebook group, so make sure you get there. The link is everywhere for that. So you can find it, no problem. Everywhere.
A lot of talking tonight.
Oh, too much
A
talking.
lot of
I
yakking.
am legitimately losing my voice.
Holy God. 5 hours of talking or
You
something?
got it.
Yeah, 4.5 or something.
Looking at the schedule.
Woo! I actually pulled back a little bit from my usual.
Yeah, that's all good.
So
We're
it's
good.
all worked in from screaming all night. Why, Daddy? Why? Until the blood sprays.
So just to get everybody into it, again, we're not doing the coming attractions. Our next movie is Iron Man 2. We're jumping into the next Iron Man.
Is that the next one in a row there?
Yeah. Well, technically,
Ah.
Incredible Hulk would come between the two movies,
no.
but we're not doing Incredible Hulk. We've already said that.
And then Thor was
Not
before
enough
Captain America.
Not enough time yet. Captain America comes right before Avengers. Those
fuck
two,
yeah.
those two tie directly together.
Right. That is right.
Yeah. So we do have this posted around the world on our different social media sites. So make sure to go
Wall to wall.
and check that out for the entire schedule. There are a couple of scenarios where we actually overlap and we don't have like there's Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers and Ant-Man are all within a week of each other. So like we had to like double up a little bit so we could get so we can finish in time, because we are going to finish we're going to finish the week before Avengers 4 comes out, and then that week we'll probably talk about Avengers 4, and then that'll be our first coming attractions episode that leads us into whatever we're doing after this. I promise you it won't be a gigantic marathon again.
Probably be our funerals.
We'll just get back into our usual see, there were two other FX. There was Lola VFX.
Yeah, there was one I saw too
there.
that wasn't Lucas. It was the animation and just special effects was some, I can't remember. It said The Orphanage. That's what it said, The Orphanage.
Yeah.
Which is probably a branch off Vile M.
Yeah, either that or it's actually a physical like Chinese orphanage, where it's like that's
you don't have to.
They're
put their
making
names
iPads in one room.
They don't count as human beings. They, they're slave labor, so you don't have to put their names in.
We like
it.
Them.
Really saves a lot of money on credit. How much does it cost to make the credits?
It just occurred to me I never knew Ozzy Osbourne's real name until I just saw that credit.
Oswald Osborne.
John Osborne.
John Osborne.
I was like, that just blew my mind. You just said how much does it? You say how much does it make to do the credits or cost to do the credits?
Yeah, you got that right.
Sorry.
Who gives a fuck?
So how much does it cost to do the credits? I can't imagine that much. All things considered, it's probably done by the character. So in the new cases, it's billions. All right, guys, we're going to just watch this final scene, and this is going to be our goodbye after this. So this was cool because again, we've no idea that there was a plan to do a extended universe.
Oh shit!
At this point, so we're seeing Nick Fury here. The comics had actually asked permission to use him as Nick Fury, and this was before he was ever playing Nick Fury. They just wanted him to be the new look, so they asked to use his likeness, and he said yes. And then when they decided Nick Fury was going to be involved in the movies, they were like, "Well, we have to cast him then because it's him."
Whoa, I'm here to talk to you about the Avengers.
Yep, the Avengers Initiative. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you so much for our first helping of this movie or of this universe. And we're looking forward to doing some more. So
And now the next one will be our first one, and not 5 down the line in one day.
yes, that's true. We won't be as tired. All right, guys. See you next week with
Later,
Iron Man
y'all.
2. Bye.
This has been Miscast Commentary with your hosts, Joe Finley and Todd Murray. Executive producer, Joe Finley. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Visit www.miscastcommentary.com for all news related to the podcast. Miscast Commentary is a Miscast Media production.
Hey, what's up, nerds? Not that I couldn't like jump out of that.